you have the music?
Yeah, I still have music playing.
My face, right?
The boss music's playing. I'm going to change it to the title screen music.
This is right? This is right?
This is right. We're here. We're live.
You're the boss music, my friend. Hey, Lasers.
Thanks.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Vmizo.
Welcome to our launch party event.
Oh, I got to mute my audios.
Oh, that's probably a good idea. Well, I mean, I can't hear it, but hearing an echo is probably really distracting.
Hearing me is pretty distracting. So I apologize to everyone listening at home as we get going. I'm Mottzy.
And I'm DrassRay.
And we are
DrassRay Games.
Okay,
you can't sync it up because that's a little tough.
It's a little weird, yeah. So we're DrassRay Games. We are getting ready for our big launch of early access of Alterium Shift.
Yeah.
No doubt, if you found us, you probably saw some sort of announcement around that. Tonight we will be doing some giveaways, free keys to the early access launch. Launch happens at 1 a.m. Central Time, U.S. Standard, which is, I think they're launching it in Japan because that's where our publisher is at like 3 o'clock their time? No. Yes.
3 o'clock their time. 1 a.m. our time.
Correct. Mundo. So we're here just to, play a little bit of the game, answer questions, chat it up, maybe talk a little bit about some of our excitement, talk some about our ideas for the early access launch and what we'd like to achieve, which we would love people's support in. We really want to make this successful, not just for ourselves, but for everybody else. We want people to love this game. And hopefully through this process of early access and all the development and bug fixing and otherwise, we will. And, we're looking for people's engagement and partnership in this effort.
Yeah, really excited. And there's a lot to work to do, but a lot to work to do. There's a lot of work to do, but with your help, I believe we definitely can have something really amazing here. We already do. I'm just kidding.
I believe I can touch the sky.
So yeah, what do we want to do first? Do we want to play a little bit of the game? Boot it up here.
Well, before we start playing the game, why don't we start by talking about what we're trying to accomplish with the launch, right?
Okay.
We, if you look at our Steam page, which I definitely did not prepare to have a link to it on the other channels that we're streaming on. So Drass, maybe you can pull it up and pop it into chat.
I can't from the multi-stream chat.
Maybe you can't do that, Mr. Multi-Stream Face. But we aren't doing a Kickstarter, at least near as we can tell. We didn't really plan on it. We don't really want to. And it's not because we don't care about Kickstarters. It's because it takes a lot of time and effort. And development for a two-person shop with, some side contract support and an amazing composer, it's not a huge team. And so we're doing the best that we can with the time that we have. And Kickstarter feels like a pretty big time suck. It would pull us away from what we want to do. So we think of early access like it's a Kickstarter. The difference, of course, is that there's no tiers of backers, right? You buy the game or you don't. But for those people who do, we want to thank you for that effort. We'll do our best to respond to concerns or questions, bug fixes or otherwise. I mean, if you've looked at the Steam boards, we're trying to be pretty good at responding to people if you pop into Discord. And along with that, of course, is goals that we need to achieve to show further future viability of the game. So we actually have, similar to Kickstarter, put together some unit sales goals. And I will be transparent about this. I don't think I used to be comfortable about this idea of publicizing sales goals because, you can do math, you can figure out roughly gross sales, whatever. But we want to be transparent with our community. We've been transparent with our community. We love the feedback that we get, even the stuff that's negative, because it's helped us. And so we want to be transparent of what we're trying to accomplish. And then you can decide whether you want to partake in that effort. So, Drass, did you want to pull up
Yep.
the... I see chat happening, but I'm also doing my thing. Oh, Wallaber got timed out on his attempt.
Oh no, that's.
I think I put Wallaber is not currently banned in the channel. Okay.
Good. We don't want to ban Wallaber.
Sorry, Wallaber. I think I put on light mod because I wasn't sure what we'd get tonight. So I don't normally have that. So let's talk about sales goals. It's just auto mod. It's not you, Wallaber. It's me or us. It's CloudBot. Blame the bots. So let's talk about sales goals. Our ultimate goal, the thing that will make us feel comfortable and happy, is 5,000 copies sold within the first month of launching in early access. Now, of course, it is the 6th of the month that we're starting, so we're a little, behind the curve. But, if we can hit that number, it tells us we have the viability we need. Our publisher would feel really good about that because they're supporting us with a lot of this effort. I hate to say it this way, but things take money. Things cost money. Living costs money, and to show viability of a product, seeing the results is good, because then we can see that people like it and that we want to keep investing into it, and that the publisher wants to keep pushing it forward. Regardless of the outcome, really, we're still going to keep pushing forward, but hitting our sales goals and going above and beyond it makes some things a lot easier. And so to hopefully encourage some of this, we actually have a tiered list of goals. The first 30 days doesn't have to be in July. Okay, Michael, whatever, fine. I wanted to put a sense of urgency, but we'll do that, whatever you want. Of course, if 5,000 is our goal, the first two tiers are, just as a way to show, hey, we want to achieve something, right? So we get to 1,000 copies sold. I mean, obviously, you'll get our eternal gratitude. Eternal, forever, to infinity and beyond. But in addition to that, we'll give the community access to a free desktop picture, which you can see a little picture there for anybody to download as they desire. If we hit the 2.5K, which is a good number, pretty solid, healthy number for an early access for sure, then we will be releasing our developer walkthrough guide. We'll try to minimize the spoilers, but we have seen people say, oh, it would be great to have some guide on where to go or how to do things. And so we've already had to create some guide stuff, and we're going to keep updating and iterating as we go. So we'll just keep that updated as we go, right? We have to have testers, people that know how the game works. So we'll make sure there's some stuff out there so people who get stuck or want to know a little bit more about where to go or what to look at, they'll be able to use that guide. And of course, our magic number, 5,000 copies sold. One of the big things we really want to do is get that CRT filter working. We've done a little bit of testing. It's not a priority for our game development project right now. We'd really like to do CRT filtering, but hitting 5,000 copies makes that a really easy win. Now, I can't remember what that one is right below there on 5,000 copies. It's
another desktop background, but featuring some new key art.
So then we'll be talking about, something you've not even seen yet, and we'll be releasing to the community a desktop that has that new key art. We do have more key art planned. It's going to be great. Fishing guide, got to catch them all. Yes, we will probably do something related to fishing for sure. So those are hitting our target. That's what we're aiming for. We do actually have a couple more just after that, which is to go from 5,000 to 10,000, which is a really solid, healthy number for early access. And getting there means we can achieve some of the goals we want a little bit easier. We got a little bit more, cushion in terms of funding. Drass gets to keep his day job developing code all day at Dratzy Games, things of that nature. So, of course, you mentioned fishing. That's one of our ultimate goals for 10K. And, of course, you guys have heard the beautiful music from Jonathan Shaw. So 7.5K, we're going to, work with our publisher to get more of that great music. We budgeted for a certain amount, but if we're showing the viability of the product, it's almost a no-brainer because that music is amazing. And so we're going to find more opportunity to leverage it. And there's plenty of more games to go that we think could benefit from its own unique musical stylings. Jonathan Shaw is amazing. If you've not checked out his website, which you can do !music in chat, you should be able to see a link to that. I'm not sure about the Steam. Let's go take a look at the Steam channel, but check him out. He's amazing. You can hear his music. It fits so well with the game. And then, of course, as I was saying, 10,000 copies sold. More fishing, as well as with these new key art graphics, we're going to implement a in-game character portrait option where you can choose the portrait type that you're using for your characters.
Yep.
Does that about cover it?
Yep. And then
Yes.
anything beyond that would be stretch goals. If we hit 10,000K, we'll reveal some stretch goals. Just to, hey, we hit 10K, we might as well, try to get some more.
Yep. So there you have it. We will talk about this a couple more times. I'll probably be a little bit less verbose as we go. The music is great, yes, and there will be an OST with the full launch. It's a lot of music, actually. It's amazing to think about all the things that we created for this.
Yep.
So there's a lot going on there. And I think that's the skinny. I'm going to paste in the Steam chat. The other thing we want to talk about is giveaway. So, if you are in chat and you want to know how to do giveaway, !giveaway. I was going to put another command that was easier to type, but I forgot to do that. So when Drass starts working, I'll go and do it. The YouTube is not apparently doing what I want it to do, so I'm going to have to hand paste this over there to anyone that's watching on YouTube. There you go. And then, of course, on the Steam chat, this is a Google form. Because we're doing multi-stream, we can't do like the CloudBot raffle giveaway. Go to that form, check the platform that you have a user in, and put your username in there. Because if you win, we will reach out to you through that platform. We'll private message you or contact you through there, and then we'll work with you on getting the key. And we don't have exact set times when we're going to do the giveaways. We'll pick a couple times to pause. You need to be here to earn the key, but we'll try to be somewhat generous in the timing of that. I think we'll probably do one here in the next hour, and then of course, leading up to the launch, which happens 1 p.m. Central Time, we'll do another giveaway there too.
Thanks
We'll
for
do a
the
couple
follow, Cheeky Chi.
Chi, thank you for the follow. Okay, now I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, let's get this game booted up. I'm gonna pause
Let's
our
roll.
music here real quick.
Oops, sorry.
And let's boot up Alterium Shift, shall we?
Let's get it booted in here.
All right.
So because we have 3 different chats, by the way, I'm going to try to help keep on top of that. I'm not used to looking at 3 different places for chat. So if I'm not able to keep up, just you say it again or at me or Drass or whatever. No Tango. Hey, how's it going? You've been really helpful. Drass and I were just talking about that because you're in Steam, you're messaging us on Twitter, you're in Discord. So thank you for all of your help. I'm here to learn everything about Ugly Facington. He's my whole life now.
Man, Ugly Facington has become a star. Just
the lore of Ugly Facington.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do a lot more with Ugly Facington, I feel like. There's no way around it. He's the most popular chicken, bar none. So yes, more Ugly Facington in Alterium Shift is sure to come.
We did talk about plushies for sure if that public demand is there. It's not going to be part of our countdown stream launch goals, but it will be something that we'd look into in the future.
Yep. I got to
just
turn
made
the
all those
game
names
down
up
a little
on the
bit.
fly, by the way. When we were working on the early phase of the game and doing the chicken quest, I was just trying to throw the quest together, and I was like, I know, I'm just going to say the first name that comes to mind. Like Mr. Beaky Boo and Jeremy and Ugly Facington. I can't remember
Petunia Wigglebottom.
Oh, was that one I made?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the fourth, or the other one. Yeah. I had a lot of fun designing those chickens too, the images for them. So, Anyways, yeah. What do we want to cover first? You know, we got a lot of new features in early access.
Anything anyone wants to see? Anything you guys are interested in knowing more about? Oh, I like how Streamlabs posted the command, but it didn't do anything.
That's hilarious.
For merch, go fix that.
I didn't realize it. Not very graphically inclined person. Let's see here. I mean, one of my obviously my favorite thing is the chickens. I take a lot of pride in those things.
Yeah, I said, Sage. The Sage sprite doesn't look very much like their art. Yeah, I think that the art is always going to be somewhat artistic interpretation.
Right.
So yeah, they're not always going to look exactly like their characters. I can't remember which came first. I think the art
I designed their clothes and had on the sprites, and then we had the artist kind of cover that. You know, they did their interpretation of that.
Got it. Why is the merch not? Do you want to talk anything about Hamilton?
Yeah. So, you know, and obviously, you know, some of our favorite things about early access, the new stuff, is music. I mean, if you just take a moment to listen to the music in the game, Jonathan Shaw has done an amazing job. With the new demo and early access, we added the portraits for the chickens. We went through here, and one of the newer features is Echo Shift, and we'll talk about that. I guess. Do you want to talk about that later or now?
Talk about it later when we get. I think because we want to show how it works.
Right.
Although if necessary, I suppose I don't know if you've got the dev version up or if you've got the actual launch version.
This is the latest build.
The foot tapping reminded me of Chrono Trigger, and it feels like there's a lot. Yeah, let me get that in a second. If only I had a courage to dance like that in Town Square. Yeah, in that dress, even Walliver, that would look really good on you.
+9 courage.
I did nothing against that. +9 courage. I would do it. I used to dance all the time with my wife, not in dresses. I'm not opposed to it, but it's not my thing. So, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, Breath of Fire. Those, when we talk about the main inspirations for this game, those are it. I would say for me, Chrono Trigger is the #1 inspiration. The art asset pack, the base assets that Drass built on top of, is from an artist named Celial the Shaper. And Celial does art that's more like Secret of Mana. It's like a Mana style pack. Right. But it all is the same era, right? So, and ironically, Celial is non-binary like Sage, which wasn't necessarily something we planned, but it just sort of evolved in the character development.
Right.
So yeah, we love that style, and you know, it's still a 3D world, but you can tell that we've tried to really make it feel like it was a 2D game. By the way, are you supposed to figure out that spirit is the correct question? Oh yeah, because it doesn't actually exist in the lore books. I think that we will expand the lore books. I still haven't gone back and done my necessary job of refining the lore, but the test question is so obvious, like light, dark, or spirit. It's not going to be light or dark, right? Because you would otherwise you have to have light and dark. You can't have one or the other, like having a yin without a yang. Right. Process of elimination, right? A, B, C, D, jabs. The color of the environment and the sprites look so good. Lab kajabs? Was that a... Who came up with the witty, funny dialogue? Because kudos for that. It's a joint effort, honestly.
In the beginning, it was mostly Mottzy, because Mottzy was doing like the majority of the writing. So like everything, most of the stuff that you see in Summiton is Mottzy. I did a lot of the later stuff, so like the early access stuff, if you see more dad jokes, more witty things, a lot of that was me. Mottzy kind of warmed me up into that the dad joke vibe, because first I was a little resistant. I'm not gonna lie.
He was very when we were first doing the demo, and he's like, Mottzy, I need you to go in and put all the interactions in the houses and stuff. And we were using Smile Game Builder exclusively at the time, which is an engine it's a good engine for beginner developers because you're not really coding, you're using like scripted events. Really challenging for someone who knows what's possible in code. And it was really frustrating for me. And it's just like, I have to go in here and I got to go edit all these things. And I was so much like not wanting to do it that I made it fun. And I thought, if I was playing this game and I went to go talk to this thing, I want it to say something.
Right.
That's not just like normal. And so first it was like all that stuff happened. And then when it came to the characters, of course, those have evolved over time, but we definitely decided their personalities, and then I just made the characters interact based on their personality. So Sage, of course, being the witty one, and Atlas is more like a younger kid who doesn't always know the witty thing to say, but tries. And then and Pyra is like the direct boss, essentially. Drass and I have decided that many of those character traits come out in me directly or in him. So, if you want to know anything about my personality, read the dialogue in the game.
That's a good question. The demo, the enemies seem to all have specific elemental weaknesses, which you found by trial and error, which, yes, that was intended at first. So, such as lore on enemies and discovered weaknesses. So, we plan to expand on how enemies' information is taken. So, we want to actually build a bestiary for the game. And that will include having information on their weaknesses and their strengths. And what we'll do is after the first time you defeat an enemy, their information will be in the bestiary. But we're also going to implement some of those features into battle where, a weakness like text will pop up with the damage if you actually do a move that the enemy is weak to or strong against, vice versa, that kind of thing. So we do want to expand upon that just because, it's quality of life features for the player. And then a bestiary, obviously, a lot of people like to go in and read the bestiary, which I did a lot with the old Final Fantasy games. Like, I think it was, and they also had the hunts and stuff in Final Fantasy 12 and stuff like that. So, adding those quality of life features and just giving a little bit more depth to the enemies themselves would, I feel like, go a long way.
Yeah, I will tell you that in the beginning, I was very vehemently opposed to monster hints. I told Drass, back in my day, I had my back in my day moment. I had to play Chrono Trigger, and you didn't get to know what their health was. You just had to fight them until they died. I've since gotten over my crotchetiness on that because our game the battle system is set up. Even though it's turn-based, it's like more tactical, or there's a word for it that Drass says, but you go one at a time, which means you need to make some strategic decisions on how you're going to attack. And if you don't know important information like health and weakness, you can't make good decisions on your battling. You just kind of got to guess.
Right.
So we do want the bestiary. There will be health. There will be the weakness thing. And the other thing we want to talk about, because this is something we're going to talk about throughout, for a long time, in perpetuity of this game, is the persistent save system. Right. This is a very more modern-y thing that's happened. I mean, more commonly modern within the last 15 years or so, where games have these things where no matter what happens in your save file, there's something outside the save file that affects the game or even messes with your save file. And so, yes, Michael's pointing out we call that echo shift, but not even just echo shift. So echo shift is a concept where you can make a change using like a switch or something, and it affects every save.
Right.
Like a door will be open on every save or closed on every save, or a chest will be available. And we're gonna play with that notion as we expand into the next phase of early access. We got some ideas there, and even puzzles that can leverage that ability. We aren't going to make that a required component of the game. If you don't want to play with the persistent save, you don't have to, but it is meant to be a way to expand the experience and give people more opportunity to do things besides just go through the story.
Just adds a lot of replay value.
Yes, hopefully, right? But the other thing we're doing, because we have a persistent save system, is leveraging that for other things. So when we talk about a bestiary, the bestiary is not, I know you say bestiary, but I read it says bestiary, so I'm not sure what's the right word. But that's going to be persistent. So you play the game as one character and you fight all these monsters. The next time you play with any other character, those monsters are known.
Right.
So it'll live through the course of your game. Likely someone's going to say now, of course, well, why don't you have a way to reset this? And so maybe we will eventually have a way to reset your persistent system. But consider that the game now becomes unique to you. So if you played one character first and you did one set of things first, and you triggered things that trigger based on that character's persistent save data, every other character has the experience based on what was triggered from that.
Right.
And as we go and every time we iterate, we keep adding little things that sort of touch on that to give it a unique and distinct feel.
Yep.
One of our primary pillars, I can think Wallaber for this. Wallaber is amazing. He's the guy who made Jelly Car Worlds. If you haven't heard of it, then you need to hear about it. He helped us use the term pillars of the things that hold the game up, essentially. And so one of the pillars is that you're in a living world. Obviously, it's a 2D game, pixel art, whatever, but you want to feel like it's alive, that things can change, things that you may not necessarily expect. There are still things to this day people have not found. Even Baku-san, who probably did the most interacting at all in the game I've ever seen anyone do, and encountered so much content in the game, he didn't find some of our little sneaky hidden secrets. And I think that's important. I mean, I'm an adventurer. I like to talk to things and explore, and I want people to feel rewarded. And Drass agrees with me, but he also says, well, you got to let people also just play straight through the game if they want. So we have both concepts, right? We don't try to bog you down. You're not going to miss out on anything major if you decide not to explore. But for those who do, there's going to be little extra rewards and a little extra experience that makes you feel like it's alive.
Right. I think what I'll do is I'm going to work my way through here. We'll do the boss battle, and then we'll show you some of the features, like the Echo Shift. Oh wait,
is that why you chose that? Run through it.
Yeah.
You already beat all the big monsters. How'd you get there so fast?
No, I started to save. That was later on.
Okay, I was like,
yeah. No, I didn't want to. They've already seen some of this stuff. I mean, a lot of the people here have played the demo already. So this is about early access, right? So if you don't want to spoil yourself, totally understandable.
And of course, a reminder: if you do play the demo, your save file will transfer to early access.
Right.
You know, the little sneaky secret is it's the same game. In fact, the version of the game says EA for the demo, like the way it's saved from Unity, like in your app data files. It's just the demo just doesn't have the next section.
Cheeky Chi needs a banner at the top that says "Use potion, use your potion, Hill." So that was one of the things that Mottzy, you kind of put into the health bars. They flash a little right when their health is low and your AE is low. So that was we may work other ways. I mean, I remember in old school games like old school beat 'em ups, like some characters might start flashing if their like health is low, that kind of thing. I don't know if we'll do that, but I always appreciated that when I played old games like that.
Right. Spoiler warning, you're right, Michael. I think it might be good to put that spoiler warning up, Trask.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
I think that fishing would be a big hint. I generally thought you could delay flashing. I thought it was fishing. My eyes, my gosh. I generally thought I could delay one more turn. I was so wrong. We could make the character flash, I suppose.
Yeah, they could like flash like red or something. I don't know.
Would that make sense? Probably, right? One of the things that's interesting to me, while Drass gets things set up and continues to move through the game, I'm from the web development, enterprise development industry. I've worked in agile environments for a long time. And I didn't really know much about the game dev industry until 3 years ago. And it always seemed kind of interesting to me that you define and build, you waterfall define a game and build and deploy it, and then that's it. That's what it seemed like, right? But it feels much better to release iterations and get feedback and improve it. Maybe that's not everybody's thing, right? Some people wait till the end, but I personally like this because we've gotten so much good feedback and made so many great changes to the game simply because we're getting it in front of people too.
That's a good point, No Tango. Like I do remember that in some games where they'll have kind of like a staggered breathing animation or something when their health is low or something like that.
Chrono Trigger has that, doesn't it? They're like they like on the ground or something when they're
right.
Maybe we should do that. I'll put a ticket in.
That is a good idea. I mean, those aren't hard to do at all. So
hopefully, they didn't stop moving the camera.
There we go. Took the tree ant down. Final Fantasy VI, I think they kind of take a knee or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. I think even Chrono does that, where they're like they take a knee or they look like they're extra tired.
Right. Crouch down, injured. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Done. I'll make a ticket.
Boom. We are on it. This is part of the process is talking to you guys and getting your ideas and seeing what could help us, make the game better. And I wouldn't say most of the time, but a lot of the time we agree and we, empathize with the troubles you might be having with the game or something like that. And obviously, we want the game to be as best as possible within reason, obviously. So, we try to do what we can to make things make sense.
Yep. I mean, wanting to make it as best as possible is great, but at some point you gotta chip it, right?
Right. We're not. I mean, obviously we can't delay, full launch or anything like that. We have to select carefully what our updates are going to be. But the feedback helps us do that.
Yep. This whole sequence is one of the first. The whole structure of the sequence was something we first started with,
right?
Because the original demo was only this path.
Yeah, and it's visually changed over time, but every character had this event. This was what every character experienced early on in our basically our proof of concept demo. That's what I call it, because that demo is really just getting it out there. Hey, is this even a viable product for people to like? And that's what it started with. It's just a very linear game, and it naturally evolved into this 3-storyline experience that we have now.
Yeah. And of course, the shift bubble. The shift bubble was when we talked about shifting the world. That's roughly what we thought about for a while. But the first demo, we just didn't have the resources to make that happen. But now we have it. It's great.
Did you want to talk about why we have the choice for the amulet?
You mean like the whether you smash it or not?
Right. Tango's asking about that.
What's the difference between
oh,
I see. Yeah, just for fun. There's literally nothing. I mean, a lot of these choices that you guys get aren't really meant to have any major impact. They're meant to have flavor. There will occasionally be things that are a little bit more important, but those ones will be emphasized by the nature of the choice.
Right.
In the end, the game all goes in the same direction. Why can you choose to shoot the amulet instead of grabbing it? I just wanted to have the choice. Because one of the tenets of the game... let's talk about, sort of back up to the lore, or the lore of our definition of the game. The first iteration, you had no choices. Literally, the game talked to you and told you what was happening. Characters interacted on their own. They made their own dialogue. And something didn't feel right about that to me. And Drass agreed with me when I kind of talked to him about it, which was these characters, they lose something if they do all the talking. a player playing the game and watching their characters talk, it takes them away from being part of the game.
Right.
And I loved Chrono Trigger because Chrono Trigger was like you get to make choices because Chrono Trigger doesn't speak at all. Chrono Trigger is pure silent. He's a pure silent protagonist. Where, you know, other games you'll have the characters have their whole backstory and they'll talk like the characters.
Right.
So we kind of did a mix between the two. You get choices. So if something's going to happen, like Dolian says, grab the amulet, you get a choice.
Right.
For whatever reason, you just get a choice. Not always will you get a choice. Usually it's because some of the sequences are too complex to inject choice. If it were my choice, I would put it wherever I could, whenever I could, in every single facet of the game. It's just not technically feasible for the time we have and the amount of stuff we have to make. But
Right.
whenever possible, we give a choice. It doesn't matter whether it's just some random conversation with a stranger or not. If they ask a question, you get to choose the answer, and you choose the answer from the character's voice. So keep in mind, every choice then is in the voice of the character. So if it's Atlas, it'll be in Atlas's sort of unsure type of thing. And if it's Sage, it's usually going to be some kind of witty thing that you can say because that's Sage. But everyone has choices to do whatever they want. All right, so now we're at the Echo Shift area.
Right. So I already had I guess I already had the crystal green here, which is fine. So it starts out yellow, and when you interact with it, it turns green. And what you'll notice is the camera will zoom over to a certain spot, and you'll see this green crystal kind of disappear. We call that a shift gate. There are these shift gates that basically block off certain areas in different parts of the game. Now, sometimes it'll require a second character to go through and use their ability to get whatever item is there. So this is part of that persistent state or save that we were talking about. This green node will stay green across all of your saves. So whenever you load a game with, let's say we load a game with Pyra, okay? So I'm going to choose play another character. I'm going to Pyra. I need to find a save where she's in, Nautimus Forest. Okay. So I loaded this save where I was already in Nautimus Forest with Pyra, and I'm going to go up to that same area.
Did you show them the gates too, or are you going to talk about that now?
So this is like one of the gates right here. So this is Pyra's gate. It's red. Atlas's gates are green. And Sage's gates are pink, which I could show you up here, actually. You can probably see it, maybe. No, you can't. No, you can't. I have to go all the way around.
Tango's asking that sometimes the saves are grayed out. Yes. There are specific areas in which cinematic sequences are happening where, because you can save anywhere, saving would cause problems. The way Smile Game Builder works and the way it manages state isn't perfect. So if you're mid-sequence on something, if you're in between doing some sort of cinematic, and you save the game and then you load it from there, sometimes it would break. And so while we would ideally like to be able to save anywhere you want at any time, there are some places where we had to turn it off just to make it manageable.
Right.
We try to minimize when that happens, but that's usually why we do. Your save was saved grayed out in the forest, and that's a bug.
Yeah.
If you're not around a cinematic sequence and you see save grayed out, it means we forgot to turn it back on, and we're very sorry, and we feel bad about it. I believe autosave still works, though.
Yes.
Should still autosave regardless.
So yeah, Sage's gates here are purple. So whenever you activate the shift node, that's what we call these, it'll turn a different color. Now, while it's green, I'm going to go ahead and go over here where Atlas's gate would have been, and now it's gone for Pyra. So I can break through the rock here, which I need to fix that animation, and I can get the red continuum potion from this item. That's an item that I created that, we wanted to give a lot of incentive for replaying the game, and part of that incentive, and if you choose to do this, you can choose to do it or not, It's kind of up to you. Obviously, we gave you an item to use, so it's your choice to use it. This is almost like a permanent stat increase. It's almost like a full level up for Pyra in item form. So it ups your stats permanently by the stats that are listed there.
It's like the tabs in Chrono Trigger, right? Power tab and stuff.
Right. So,
Drass, do we want to talk about the other thing that we recently added? That one of the questions we had, or one of the questions we saw when Baku-san was playing the game, was how to deal with difficulty ramp.
Wait. Do you talk about it? I'm having trouble.
Am I okay to talk about it? We didn't talk about whether we can talk about it. I mean, people will see it when they play the game.
Oh, you're talking about the reshift.
Yes. I'm talking about dying.
Yeah. Game overs. Right.
Game over, man. We might as well talk about it.
Hey, Daniel. Welcome.
Super excited for the game and wanted to come show some support. Well, we appreciate it.
That's awesome.
So we got a question. We saw a question, I think, when Baku-san was playing about how do you deal with difficulty.
I'm going to interrupt you because I want to answer Tango Stan first. He asked what the blue chests mean. Those are special chests. So they're just more, usually the item is more rare in a blue chest. So like the brown chests are like your more common items. And I use the blue chest to kind of indicate that you're going to get a more rare item or special item. We do want to keep that consistent. So if it doesn't seem consistent, let us know and we'll fix that. But yeah, so blue means rare. The other chests, so we have green chests, purple chests, and red chests. Those are for the individual characters when you activate. It's another feature of the shift node here, where if it's green, if the shift node's green, you can open any green chest. And that's with any character. So you don't have to be Atlas to open the green chests. The node just has to be green. So you can go back as the other characters and get those chests if you want to. Of course, obviously, if you're in a point in story where you can't go back, it's up to you if you want to restart, do that, whatever. There's different ways. There's going to be so many of these items. None of them are going to be so game-changing that you should get them all, but it's up to you. As the player, you have the choice to go back and do that if you want.
Well, in all likelihood, there's going to be chests you can only get with certain characters just by the nature of the timing of the game.
Right.
But that's where the replayability and the save hopping or load hopping would need to happen. Right. The idea that you'd probably, the ideal approach would of course be to progress your three characters together over time through their different save files.
Right.
Because your main is the only one that has that ability in your playthrough. So the Pyra can only break rocks when you're the main for Pyra. Right. And Sage's detector ability only works when you're main as Sage. And so there's going to be some incentive to leveraging the skills of all three of those through the use of your saves. The one thing we don't particularly love, but we don't have a good answer for, is that you kind of have to pull the player out of the game briefly to choose the save file to go to. But I don't know how else to convey what you're going to choose, right? Because people are going to want to choose the right save file. Right.
And that's why we split it up into three different sections for one for each character, so you can easily find your saves. Yes, there's a lot of saves in there, but we also wanted a lot of saves in there for people who want to save hop and have multiple saves for each character. So, we had a lot of thinking on that, and this was our best solution for the time being. So,
Kosh Malo, can't wait for the release. I've always loved pixel style games. So I'll be ready and happy to play. Well, thank you. And if you're interested, we are doing giveaway tonight. Giveaway. Does that work? If you go there and you put your platform and the user that you use on that platform, you'll be entered into our giveaway. And in fact, we're coming up pretty close to the first hour. Mm-hmm. So maybe around 11 or 11:15 Central, we'll do
our first giveaway. Press. Yeah.
And winner of the giveaway will get a free code, a free Steam key for the game, which launches at 1 a.m. Central Time, US, which is, I don't know, extrapolate from there. I think we're like UTC -6, maybe something like that.
So now I activated the Echo node as Pyra, and it turns red, obviously, and now her shift gate has disappeared. And so in this case, we also made it where the shift nodes will heal you. This was just a late addition just right before to actually, like, not too long ago, because we didn't have this whole forest. We didn't have any way of you to really come in here and heal during the early access portion. There is like a cave that has a camp later on, but there's a lot of distance between them. So we wanted to give players a way to heal themselves, and it just made sense to make the Echo node the way to heal yourself. So, and that was actually, I think Baku kind of gave us that idea while he was streaming. So
no, we talked about it afterwards, because
right.
Baku was like, "There's got to be a place to save," and we were like, "Well, should we put should we put a camp?" And no, you were like, "Hey, let's do that."
Okay.
Really quickly, we got some chat happening here.
Okay.
Cheeky says, "Oh gosh, you didn't burp. I'm sorry. Ever consider to give Ugly Facington as a pet to players? I mean, the woman who wanted her chicken back probably wouldn't mind not having him anymore. We, on the other hand, we're thrilled as a joke." No, yeah, well, I have an answer for that, actually. You might find interesting. I'll answer it in a second. If we do player pets, I vote for keeping Flurfykins instead of returning it.
Well, Flurfykin does go in your inventory, so I wonder if there's a way we could do that. That would be funny. Anyways, that kind of pertains to the same. You have the answer for both of those things, basically.
Yeah. So okay. First of all, if you guys want to know a little fun fact of lore, and I think I'm going to make eventually something you can find out, is the chicken lady never owned chickens, ever. She wanted chickens, and so she had a fence, and then she just tried to get people in town to grab the random wild chickens. That's why she doesn't know their names. She's just making them up.
She's just making them up.
No, they're like free-range chickens, but
yeah.
She's like, "I want chickens.
Go
Please
get
help
my
me find
chickens."
That's why nobody helps her.
Yep.
Because she's a crazy chicken.
Yeah. She's the chicken lady.
So if you guys look at the Steam forum, we did a post about our goals. We talked about on stream going up to like 10K unit sales.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a really great goal. But we have another set of goals beyond that, which one of them does include having a pet. I can't remember what number it is, but look, guys, and people, we would be ecstatic to get to 5K. We'd be overjoyed to get to 10K sales. That has a really big significance in what we're trying to accomplish. If we go above and beyond that, a lot of things become really feasible. Doing a pet-like system is absolutely doable in this game. We have been thinking like, Drass doesn't have a character right now, but the characters follow you around. We were thinking of having the pet follow you around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's completely feasible. It's something that we want to do. It will take a lot more copies sold than 10K, but it's something we want to put in as an extra,
right.
If we can. In my Sage run, I forgot to return the cat. Then all the way after the graveyard, I didn't remember the house, so I accidentally returned the cat. Well, if you don't return the cat, you'll just end up with a cat in your inventory forever.
Forever, yeah.
So also...
So you are a thief.
No Tango also said, the biggest problem I see with the current implementation is that right now it seems like you just have to keep a save with each character where you are. No, that's fine. What's wrong with that? That's how the game is designed. You might think, oh, well, someone's going to cheat or do this. It's like, nope, that's cool. Great. You want to have a character by every single node you run into and hang on to that save for a perpetuity?
Yeah.
Fine.
Why not? I mean, I don't see a problem with that. Again, that adds to the replayability. I don't think it takes away from it. I think for the person who wants to do that, that's cool because they're taking advantage of the system we designed.
Like who's suffering from that is the question, right?
Right.
Nobody's suffering from that. You might think, well, it's too easy. Well, yes, in theory, it would be too easy if that was the only basic puzzle. Right. But if you're really going to get that involved into it, don't worry. there's going to be puzzles that require a little bit more involvement than dropping people by the node. That will likely require some movement. Although Drass doesn't love the idea, I think even some time-based persistent puzzles would make sense. So it would be really hard to accomplish what you're talking about.
It would be interesting
because remember, you have to get there the first time, right? So if there's a puzzle, if there's a whole map, no spoilers on this because the map doesn't exist right now. If there's a whole map where you have to use persistent save and node switching to get through, then you're going to have to get the character to the node first. And in order to get there, you got to solve the puzzle.
Right.
And just like anything, once you solve the puzzle, you don't want to have to go back and reopen things, or you don't want to solve the puzzle again. Once it's solved, it should be solvable and stay solved. So yeah, there's no problem in our view. And you remember, if you're save hopping, you don't get the one that's opening the node. You're locking that one character in the spot forever.
You want to talk about cheesing things? Sage has the most cheesy skill, and they can detect treasure chests in the world. So, and some of the treasure chests, if we missed a tag on there, please let us know, because we want Sage to be able to detect hidden items. I think that fits perfectly well within their ability. And it's fun. It's fun to just walk around and see what happens when you have their ability activated, and see what the glow goes towards. You're like, oh, what is that? Yeah. Oh, it's going towards that treasure chest over there.
And we don't have we're going to talk technical. We don't have a great way at the moment to just automatically tag things that Sage should be able to interact with. We'll probably figure out a way to do that in the future. So right now we have to literally, when we're setting up the interaction, go and put a little tag on it.
We toyed with the idea of having it by region for the treasure chests and the shift gates and stuff, but then we got to a point where we're like, well, if it's by region, it doesn't make sense from a lore standpoint in our reasoning, because when you want to activate the echo node, we want it to be persistent across the world, because you're echo shifting the world, not just a part of the world. So no, you can, as long as the node is green, you can open any green chest in the game. I hope that answers that question.
Also, the question was, how long have you been working on the game so far? Just over 2.5 years?
Yep, 2.5 years. We started, just over 2.5 years, because I started the first, what is it called?
I just like that you had to repeat exactly what I just said.
Yeah, well, I have to. It's my thought process. I'm sorry. Anyways, I started the first proof of concept in January of 2021. I had a little bit of time back then, and so I was able to create this idea. I showed Mottzy, and he couldn't stop asking me questions about it. I showed him this character walking on the map. That's all I showed him. And he's like, well, what's the story about? What's this? What's that? And I was like, I just came up with this thing just now. And so, eventually I convinced him to start working on the game with me. I think it was natural. I think he just decided that after a little bit, after showing him stuff, we started throwing ideas back and forth. He got on board.
Yeah. I mean,
at the time you were hesitant to join me because of Smile Game Builder.
Well, because I started learning game development. I have years and years of development experience, but Unity still felt overwhelming, despite the fact that I know how to code extensively. Right. And so I started with Smile Game Builder because it was easy to just drop things and move and go with it. But I really hit a wall with it because you can't customize it. I was trying to make a game and I was streaming, and it wasn't meshing with me. And so I transitioned from Smile Game Builder to a game an engine called RPG in a Box, which is voxel based. I really like voxels, So I was doing voxel art and game dev. That was my thing. And when he started showing me this, I'm like, oh, this looks cool, but it's in Smile Game Builder.
Right.
I was like, I don't want to do this. It looks great, but I can't. But he just kept like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this.
I just kept showing you things.
Like, okay, let's do this. Fine. I'll bite the bullet and figure this out.
But
So
you
that's
just,
how
you also, it was just funny because when I was reading back through all that stuff, because, you know, that was 2.5 years. It's hard to remember Discord conversations from that long ago. So I actually went through those conversations and was like, it was just funny because the questions you were asking, and then you're like, what if you did this idea? Because you would just like present me these ideas with it, and you weren't even part of it yet. It was just, you know, fun to find a what if it, you know?
suckered me into it.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I'm so
I think
sorry.
the potential issue is I didn't really issued in the documentation. Opened a chest and I didn't get the item. I also got a text saying I was returning a gem. Yeah, that's probably a bug.
Yeah. I would say
wait.
just leave that for us in our Discord, if you don't mind. And we'll. What's up?
It shouldn't be a bug. It's like a visual bug.
Right.
You probably don't have the gem in your inventory, but the way the messaging system works, it queues up things because you could do like give and take multiple things, and I think that we didn't clear it out properly or something. I should join Discord. Oh yeah, let me get
absolutely.
the Discord link. Oh yeah, you think that we have a command for that?
Mottzy, what are you doing? You're supposed to be programming all of that.
You know what? I normally stream on my own stream. I don't normally do it.
Tell Chat GPT to program it all for us.
I'll go get an invite. I'll be right there. Just relax.
Just go to our link tree.
No.
Okay.
I'm literally gonna hunt my way into making a whole new link just for this. Because that's how I roll, baby. There you go. The Mottzy command. I'm gonna go add the command.
I just noticed a little bug there.
Don't tell them. Pretend like it's normal. Just like the show must go on.
It showed that the continuum potion was removed after it was added to my inventory. It's pretty funny. I think it was because I put the gem inside this, and we hid the mission, the hide message on the gem. We still have that little silly bug sticking around.
Okay, we now have a Discord command.
Oh, I got the bug just now. Ah, see? Oh, so that's the bug you're talking about. Okay, I think we knew about that bug. It keeps popping up randomly. It doesn't do it all the time. It's really weird.
Well, stop making it happen. Jeez.
I made it happen on purpose. It's my purpose in life. Right this moment. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, I was going to give myself the continuum potion.
I don't know how this team chat works and whether it keeps everything there for people to read.
Ching.
Okay, we got a few moments.
I'm going to go ahead and save right here first.
So earlier on, I started to talk about a concept.
Yes.
And then,
oh, yes. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
It's okay. I'm used to it. So this this echo shift thing. I don't know if you want to show it, and I don't even think Michael knows about this.
Maybe. He doesn't.
Question. I don't think so. We didn't. I don't think we showed him. The the question that we had was, how do you deal with it getting too hard? And I'm not going to play with the innuendo there, but the game might get hard at places, and we will try to balance it as best we can. However, Michael's like, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Really?
Essentially this. When you die in the game, at least when you die in the demo, we just updated it, so maybe it's updated now. It would just say game over, and it would like take you back to the title screen, which really takes you out of the game because you're dead. I mean, maybe dying takes you out of a lot of things, but we didn't want that. Our game is designed in a way that there's all this lore into the stuff that you would normally consider part of just the basic mechanics of having a video game. Hi, Burning, by the way. So, comma, when you die now, you actually don't go to the title screen. And death doesn't necessarily become this ending. Before you get to the Echo Shift node, when you die, you just basically get taken back to your last autosave automatically. Just kind of bounce back. However, once you hit the Echo Shift, there's a whole nother area that you arrive in. Oh, Griffin Blade, raiding with a party of 3 on Twitch. Thank you, Griffin Blade.
Thank you for the raid. Hi.
Do we have a shout out?
No. Do we? Oh, we made out. I think you made a shout out for
Hello
us.
and welcome. How was your stream?
I'm going to try to die. Thank you for the follow as well.
Did you...
God, I am so into this battle music for Anonymous Forest.
Welcome, welcome. Hey, y'all. We're just about to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
If you want, the giveaway is going to be for a free key to the game that we're launching on the, in 11, 12, 1, 2 hours. 2 hours to launch.
Only 2 hours. No pressure.
Giveaway link. Sorry, Burning. Wait. Oh, you're not modded here. Hold on a second. I'll mod you because you've been my mod before. Right now, I turned off links. I'm going to just turn that off. It doesn't matter. I thought I would be a little protective, but I think, like a mother hen, I was too overprotective. So I'm turning off link protection. Be careful. Okay. Wait, 2 hours to launch? I thought, oh no, rip, sleep. But shortly, in a minute or two, I'm going to be doing our first giveaway. So make sure you all get in the giveaway sign up. Giveaway. Is that how you spell it? Yes. Giveaway.
My tears will not be turned off.
Give away. There you go. Do I know how to spell? I don't know. It's not working on the YouTube for some reason.
Oh yeah, I don't think maybe the bot.
No, it does work. It just there it is. It just takes some time.
Okay.
There
my
it is. Tears will not be turned off.
Oh, you do have to spell it right as well.
Yes. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to set a little watch timer. I'm going to do the giveaway. So if you know any friends that might want a copy of this game and they come into chat because they need to be here to win it, hold them in, have them go fill out the link and get into the giveaway. We will do at least a couple-ish more. I think at least one more before launch, so maybe at midnight. And then launch time, we'll probably do something like give away 2 keys or something. So y'all can get the game immediately, preferably.
I'm going to do...
Anyway, so the death sequence, you'll find out. I was mentioning there's a whole other section. I'm not going to spoil it any further than that. The point is, one of the things that we're going to do with that concept is, if you're dying a lot, we will provide options that allow you to essentially get stronger without, fighting monsters. As my pal Wallaber says, when you make a role-playing game or you play a role-playing game, you're sacrificing skill for time. It's an oversimplification, and he hates it when I say it that way. But I think fundamentally it means, in a role-playing game, you just play it for a certain amount of time, and you can get better as long as you keep playing it.
Right.
You could literally just go farm weak enemies until you're strong enough to take on the next thing. Grind life, exactly. I'd much rather be able to put the time in when I lack the skill. Exactly. And, we don't try to force you to sacrifice your lifetime just so you can get stronger. So we're trying to make the game flow well. But if you really are struggling, if you really have trouble in the game, if people die and you're like, I keep dying, there will be some mechanic in there that gives the player the option to upgrade.
Rare stat boosting fish.
Yeah, that's it. They go fishing forever, right?
Yes. I need
Sacrificing
this.
fish for time. Right. Guys kept calling me out for being OP when testing. Yes, well,
Yeah.
we did have a OP test ability, so people could just overpower and hammer everything fast. But that does mean you miss some testing because you don't test like death.
Right.
Die all the time. Raise his hand. Yeah, that'd be me. Well, it'll, because I don't yet want when we get to the next phase of early access, some of these other components of the core will become obvious if it's not already obvious. I don't want to talk about it yet. We're not going to keep it all under wraps forever because it's just hard to keep things secret like that. But there's going to be a reason. There's going to be some interesting things that we're going to play with mechanically with the game. And we personally like it when there's games that play with, they thematically kind of connect together and they play with notions that are like not just basic game over, you're dead, but actually like does something with the game over.
Right.
Perfect use of Furflikins when in inventory comes out and kills all enemies before you get death ball. That would be funny if we could make Furflikins a usable item.
Well, and what Michael's saying is the pink chest that I just opened, I was only able to open it because I turned the crystal pink with Sage. So again, that was one of the features for the Echo Shift node. So if you are playing as Sage, but you haven't played as Atlas before, and you noticed the pink chest at the beginning, that's one way to unlock it.
There you go.
Or the way to unlock it, rather.
Only way.
The only way.
And, you know, as the people play the game and they experience the Echo Shift, we'll be listening to how they feel about it and whether there's things they'd like to see or they don't want to see.
Right.
Right now, the primary mechanic is gates and chests, but we may consider other things that are impacted. There are actually, well, spoiler alert, there are some things that are affected by the gate shift or the Echo Shift. They're more subtle, and you have to pay attention more. They don't really impact the game, but they just give a different flavor. Marshmallow, I'm the guy that over farms for every new area, so I never really feel any difficulty. How is difficulty for the game in your opinion? Well, Baku-san, if you guys know who that is, I should shout out. Is it just Baku-san?
I should know.
Baku-san RPG. He got to the yellow shift area and felt like it got really hard. And that was because he wasn't really into fighting the monsters. So he just kind of ran through the game and kind of fought monsters. And so it was harder for him. Right. And when he got there, he felt it was scary because he was like, he didn't have a place to heal. And he's trying to like not get into battles, which was interesting because he's like, well, maybe you should change that, but maybe you shouldn't because it was actually kind of exciting, you know? So we don't really know what we're going to do there. Is there a book that helps you learn the slime language? I feel like there's a... We're about to do the
you dug yourself a hole there, Mottzy. I'm just kidding.
No. I have ways of making up languages. But the slime... There's a lot of things that I did in this game when developing the story that were literally on the whim and mildly cheeky. And I'm going to regret every single one of those decisions, but I'm going to love it at the same time. The hint about Sage, which is a spoiler, but you find out in early access, is Sage has got a background that isn't all fully human. I think even the demo...
Yeah, the demo reveals that as well. So, and the demo's been out for a while. Who are these two awesome people? Hey, Composy.
My name's Composy. Who are these two awesome people? Oh, yeah. Composy.
I have no idea who I am. I just exist.
Who are you? So, anyway, so Sage, there's a concept that we can't get too into deep depth with, but the Dark Elves are supposed to be more nature-y. It turns out Sage can actually understand monsters, so there's going to be some component we play with that.
Right.
So the blorp and all that stuff is completely made up, and if I make it into a real language, I'm going to have to do something a little bit more structured.
Well, and if you start there, then how many other monsters have their own language? That's just not just blorp, but
we'll
buzz and
we'll contract
woof,
it out
woof.
and have someone define every single language. It'll be the same language, but with different words.
Right.
Same grammatical structure and everything.
Right.
I'd love to see how the translators deal with that.
I'm pretty sure they would just leave it alone. It's like, I'm not touching that.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, except like if you're gonna do Japanese or Chinese, you're gonna have to translate the Americanized characters into their equivalents.
That's true.
All right, I'm gonna do the.
Thanks for the
giveaway.
follow, Koshmallow. Yes, let's do the giveaway. First giveaway.
Here we go. Wait, just right before I do it, in case
Yes.
anybody just showed up. Not really sure if anybody has just shown up, but if you have, take a look at.
Are you
this
putting it in
link.
the Steam chat as well? Do we have?
I'm putting it everywhere.
Everywhere.
The Steam chat hasn't moved. No one's chatting in the Steam chat, so I just keep posting the same link over and over again.
Cool.
Okay, you got like 1 minute to get your name in. Oh, so I got here just in time for it to end. A wizard is never late. This is on the Steam one. No. They're doing a giveaway. I don't know why I'm talking. Why am I typing? You're literally listening. Video Wizard, you can by all means go to the link I just posted if you want to enter the giveaway, which will be a free copy of the
Video
game.
Wizard's here? Hello,
Video Wizard is on Steam.
Oh, he's on Steam. Okay. I was like, I know Video Wizard. Hello, Video Wizard.
Video killed the Radio Wizard.
I can't see the Steam chat right now, so anybody
okay,
who
I
talks
can
on Steam, I cannot see it.
Okay. I don't know if Video Wizard is going to join. I'm going to give it, 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. The winning row. The winning row is the blank row because someone entered twice and I deleted their name.
Try again.
Try again.
The blank row.
Winning row is number 4, EB flat. EB flat, are you here, EB flat?
Yes, if you're here, let us know and we can
Echo, Bravo.
reach out to you on your
flat.
chosen platform.
Are you here, EB flat? Going once. Are you here? Going twice?
Congrats, blank. At EB Flat. EB Flat, are you still around? If
We did
not-
want people to be here.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to reserve.
Okay.
If EB flat shows up, I will, of course, provide it. But
If not, we
you
may
need
redraw.
well, I'll redraw in 5 minutes. So if EB flat doesn't come to claim it in 5 minutes, I will redraw.
Okay, sounds good. You need to echo shift to the different platforms to claim the prize. Now that's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot. Let me read this comment. You said the presentation of the node shift chests is not that intuitive. Something like gold chests with 3d4 shield. Yeah, so we may change how it is currently, and yeah, it may not be super obvious, which I agree. That doesn't make it intuitive. So maybe some kind of thematically to represent what's happening. So the color of the character is what we're going for. So the color represents, green represents Atlas, red is for Pyra, and purple is for Sage. So that's the theme that we decided to go with. But we can think of other ways to make it a little bit more obvious. But yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, and we're going to work on all of that stuff as we learn how people play the game.
Right, absolutely. Well,
The first area where you encounter that stuff, it's to show you that in order to get access to them, you're going to have to use a different character.
right,
It's sort of like, oh, well, I can't get there, so
right.
it must be something else I've got to do to get it.
Yeah,
Try
and
to-
so and even
go
our
without
dialogue
telling.
is not super telling on that. It's just like, oh, you can't open it. There's some kind of force keeping you from opening it. So
Hey, EB
for those
Flat's
who
here.
are curious, we're hoping they'll figure it out, but we'll take more feedback as we go here and try to suss out exactly what we should do if there are continued issues with that. Hey, EB Flat.
EB flat. EB flat. All right, I'm going to
Congratulations.
send you a key. Congrats.
Very happy for you, and we hope you enjoy the game. I think it would be important. This would be a good time too, since there are new people here, to maybe go back over some of our goals and stuff for early
Yeah,
access.
because my brain can't do two things at once.
Okay.
Let me go grab the key
Okay.
for EB flat, and then we'll talk again about what we're trying to accomplish here.
Right.
As
Absolutely.
As a community, as a partnership. There we go. Got to key. I'm all keyed up, baby. Sorry. We have not gotten a lot of sleep lately. I think we went to bed at like 3:30.
What is sleep?
What is love?
I don't
Gratry-
even know what that is.
Gratry, don't hurt me. Maybe we're more like Michael, don't hurt me.
Michael, don't hurt me. Let me see.
EB
Let
flat,
me show my desktop this time. I'm gonna minimize the game.
Dinner. Okay.
Where's
All right,
my
EB
desktop?
flat, coming into your little whispers is gonna be a key.
Only bite
Where is
you
it?
if you
It's a
ask
key.
nicely. No thanks. I'll skip.
Like right here. Why can't I whisper to you?
Maybe you
I'm
have
gonna
to
whisper
be
sweet
friends?
nothings.
Adam is a friend.
How are you, EB flat?
Be our
I'm
friend.
whispering to you. How
We're
do I
both
find you?
talking at the same time.
Hello. Whisper. Can I even talk to you? What's going on?
Release is in less than 2 hours. Yeah, release is in an hour and 45 minutes ish.
Maybe EB flat. If you can just message Mottzy, that would be great. On the Twitters.
Gonna head to
Good night,
sleep.
Composy.
Good night. Thank you for stopping by. It's good to see you.
Maybe I can find you here. Can I whisper you here? Whisper. It's
Whisper.
not giving me the whispery thing.
Are they on Twitch?
I don't know. Yes, this is Twitch. I'm looking at Twitch. Yes.
I need some water.
Through Twitter? No, just through Twitch. Just here, me. Whisper me. Whisper sweet nothings into my ear, please.
Just don't make it as awkward as he's making it sound.
I do think Drass does know that I make things awkward. So
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I'd like to say he's used to it, but
That's up in the air.
okay. Let me see here. I finally got my whispers window open. EB flat. Oh, I think you must. Yeah, you got me. Okay.
Awesome.
Here you go. It's all yours. Don't spend it all in one place, except it's only one thing.
There's
All right, so
only
let's
one
talk
place to
about
spend it.
what we're trying to accomplish. Again, we're going to do another one in about an hour ish.
Yes.
So, yay. What are we doing? We're talking about early access. Okay. Had to reset my brain. We are doing early access almost in a way like you would do a Kickstarter. We didn't want to spend all the time on Kickstarter. We've had some friends do that. We've seen the effort. It's a lot of effort for a lot of risk because you don't even know what's going to get done.
Right.
And we would rather spend most of our time working on the game than on doing a bunch of big markety things like a Kickstarter. Of course, Kickstarters are helpful. Even having a publisher, a Kickstarter would be helpful because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but doing things like this take money and time, right? You got to spend money on composers and contractors and, getting development kits, which I still have to get all my stuff set up for that because we have a lot of consoles to start working on. Localization. There's a lot of stuff we have to spend money on just to make the game, not even talking about our own living situation. And so we're using this as that Kickstarter. We want to hit certain goals. Our publisher is supporting us and they will continue to support us. But if we start hitting some sales goals of number of copies sold, that makes just so much stuff easier overall. It makes it more feasible for us to go to events. It makes it more feasible for us to, invest time and money into certain features and capabilities because not only does it show viability, but there's actually money behind that stuff. I know, unfortunately, the way our world works is money. Money is the thing we need. And we're not asking for people to donate. We're not asking for any of that. All we're asking is people to buy a copy of the game for early access. And it's not even that we're saying, you have to spend a lot of money on it. Early access is the best time to buy a game, even if you want to wait till it's done, because it's much less expensive.
Yep.
Early access version will be the lowest price you could possibly buy the game at. And I believe we're even launching it with a 20% discount So like literally now is the best time to buy it to get the lowest price you can possibly get, unless you want to wait like 5 years from now or something. When we launch the game, it'll very likely increase in price, which we don't have any specific set number, but we know that's what happens, right? It's going to be more of the game. It's going to be a higher price.
Right.
To go along with that, though, we want to help set some framework and have a guide for what's happening with Twitch? Demo of this game. What happened? Are you being slowed down? That's what launch price is going to be.
Well, that's
okay.
the
Hold
thing.
on.
We haven't set the launch price quite yet, so that's why we're not willing to tell what it is yet, because
You'll know in 2 hours.
Well,
2 hours? But you'll know whatever it shows will be 20% discount. I don't know what's going on with the slowdown. I'm not seeing it, but maybe.
Oh, are you talking the launch price of early access or the full launch price? I'm sorry, I get confused.
Oh. We're a little sidetracked. Let's stay focused here. So, as I was saying, we're going to have some launch goals. Drass is going to pull up a couple of those things here. We're doing it purely by number of copies sold. Our target number, our sweet spot number, for the next 30 days from launch is 5K units or 5K copies sold. After that point, it's better, right? But we want to put some incentives, sort of like a Kickstarter, right? The first 2 goals are fairly simple. It's like, hey, you get our eternal gratitude, and here's the desktop, wallpaper. Or hey, we'll give you our developer guide that you can use, like a walkthrough guide, right, from the developer, so we kind of know a lot about what's in the game. Right. Which usually, I don't think developers do it. It's like the community makes it. So hey, we're giving you a head start. If we hit our 5K goal, we will completely implement the CRT filter, which we've tested, but we haven't invested a lot of time in. So you'll actually get like a classic television screen-like look, which we like because that's what we played these games on.
Right.
And we'll also provide an exclusive desktop that is new key art for everyone to download and use. Right. Once we get past that tier, it gets really happy. We have a lot of really great music. We want to add more. Hitting 7.5K units sold, copies sold, makes it much easier to get more money behind the composer, Jonathan Shaw, who is heckin' amazing, and you should definitely do !music. Well, I'll do it because I'm right here. Check him out. He's heckin' amazing.
Yes.
He takes great feedback. We guide a lot of what we want to do, but a lot of it's also his own personality and style. And then when 10K, if we hit the 10K mark, which is a really sweet spot number for us, then we start talking about things like what were we talking about?
The fishing minigame. We'll expand the fishing minigame and have in-game portrait options, meaning you can change the portraits of the characters to the different key arts and the different style of arts that we'll have for them. Correct.
Now, we do have goals beyond that. We're going to start here because we have no idea. Look, I'm going to be completely transparent. I come from web application development industry. I don't know how game unit ships work. I don't know how well early access games usually do. I think it's fairly variable. We hope to do well, and if we start getting up to the 10K mark, we're going to go beyond, and we have a number of things we've already decided that we'd like to do. Without telling you specific numbers, just in general terms, we did talk about the pet concept. Absolutely, completely on the list. One other thing we're talking about is physical release of the game.
Yep.
The higher we go in the numbers, the better overall. Right? We're doing this as a passion project. If you guys are curious, I don't get paid for any of this. I do all this work on the side. I have a day job, whereas Drass is working full-time on this. His entire commitment is to the game. We are working our Batuskis off, that's a technical term, and staying up really late and getting up really early, as you can probably tell by the rings around our eyes. So this is something that we are very passionate about. We want this to be a partnership with the community. I don't have a lot of context in game development. I have 3 years of context in game development. I have a lot of context in customer service and consumer-facing products or otherwise in the non-game dev industry. So when we talk about partnering with the community, we actually talk about partnering with the community. Right now, we can stay on top of it because we're not getting bombarded. So we might slow down our responses if we get too many people, but we try our darndest to respond to almost every request of feedback that we can possibly respond to. Even if someone is really unhappy with the game, we're really appreciative that people spend the time to tell us what they think and where they think it could be better. It's fine. We can't fix everything. We won't even always agree with some of the fixes people say, but we always consider it, and we're always appreciative.
Yep.
So, get the early access. Tell us how it feels. Tell us how you think it can be better. Tell us what you like. We are completely open to that. We want to make this game really feel good to everybody.
What to me also helps with early access is, if you do end up buying a copy, Steam favors games that have a lot of reviews as well. So if you buy a copy of the game, we would really deeply appreciate you reviewing the game. And that helps, obviously gifting also to another friend or something like that. Those types of things will help push it forward as well. So the more we have that interaction, the better.
Yes, exactly. And if you guys, for those who have been talking to us and who've been posting in the boards, you can tell that we favor transparency on the effort. So we do want to make sure where we're at. We'll tell you why we made the decision. Someone today was like, why do you have partial controller support? Incidentally, we actually have more full controller support. We just haven't updated our store page.
Right.
So we should probably update that. And he said, look, it's because when we started, we had an engine that only supported a subset of controllers, and we have since upgraded the system to allow more controller support. Well, why did you do it this way? It's like, some of it's just how development happens, right? It's not because we're malicious or because we're not thinking about these things. If you could see the list of things we have, we wish we could do right now, you'd be sort of overwhelmed by it like we are. But we just have to focus our priorities.
Right.
Video Wizard.
Yeah, well, so we are working on a Switch version. We announced that a while back. We're also working on the other consoles, but we haven't officially announced them yet. Once we're ready to announce them, we will. And as far as other storefronts, like on the PC, we will probably look at, I believe, GOG and what is it? The Epic Game Store. I might have to ask Michael on that, but I think those are target storefronts for PC. He can call me out on that. GOG and Epic.
People are going to try to hit as many storefronts as we can.
Yeah,
Sorry, you're seeing my head go down because I'm trying to plug something in.
So GOG and Epic, we definitely want to get on there as well. As far as the early access goes, I believe that's going to be limited to Steam for now. But as far as the full release goes, we want to expand the storefront targets. So. Where'd you go, Mottzy? You disappeared.
I wanted to plug something in because I wanted to show something.
Oh, what are you showing?
Well, it's got to charge a little bit.
Oh.
Hasn't been plugged in for a minute. I've been focused on this.
Oh, are you getting... Oh, I know what you just...
Oh, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, let me boot up the game again here. I gotta stop the... No, the game's still running. I just gotta stop the music now. I just had the music running.
I was happy the demo worked well on Steam Deck, so I assume the full game will too, which is awesome sauce. It means I can shift on the go. You can
shift on the go.
The way save files will work, I think between Linux and other machines, you would technically be able to get the save files. I don't know where they're stored on the Linux version, but
for the future,
the save files are transferable.
Steam does support cloud saves, so we may look into that in the future. I don't know that works out of the box with early access.
No, we have to set it up, but it's not. Yeah. It's something that's completely doable.
Right. So that would be like
talking about, like
during early access, we might be able to figure that out. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I know Switch absolutely. Then when we have to stay a bit hush hush for a bit, we talk about it, but we'll let you know when ready. What? Then when we have to stay a bit hush hush. Do you speak Michael? Yes.
I don't know what he's trying to say.
They need to have another indie director. we've already told people that we're putting it on Switch. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, Nintendo Life did pick us up when we announced that, which was very nice of them to do so. We appreciated that.
We didn't know they were doing it, and then we were like,
they
why
didn't tell us. They just did it. We were like, oh, look at that. We were at PAX when that happened. You remember that? The first PAX.
Yep.
PAX West.
Let's see, hush hush about when, but about when, right? When, right? We don't. The thing is, there's another component. Let's say everything from a timeline works, and you make the game perfectly, like the game is made. There's still so much work that has to happen. There's like, you have to localize, you know, in whatever languages you localize. If you want to put it on consoles, you've got to port it to all those consoles. There's all the different platforms you got to deploy it on. There's things like achievement systems, which you got to put in all the different platforms. And then there's the marketing cycle. It's just like there's so much stuff that isn't just around making a game. So timing wise, that's where things become a question mark, and we have to figure out what that's going on. But you know, rest assured, we're working our darndest to get as much done as we can. As far as a technology feature perspective on the game, we've got a lot of the core in place. Some of the final things that we're working on in the next couple months will, you know, get us 90% there with the core technology implementations. Depending on how early access goes and whether there's new things we want to do. But most of what we're going to be grinding on after the next couple months is all the story stuff. Localization for RPG takes a long time. Listen, localization takes a long time in general. For a RPG which could have thousands of words, takes an even longer time. And for an RPG that has branching dialogues where every choice you make can end up with a different result, is, I don't know, is there a word for insanity? I don't know.
Words.
From what it appears,
lots of words.
And for what it appears to be 3 different main characters, and saves seem to be separate too. Yes.
There
are 3 folders, so there are 90 possible save slots. No, there's 93 possible save slots. I think the auto we keep as a separate one. Yes, there's a lot of save slots. Correct. We want to make sure you have plenty of options to save your game when you want. We don't have a snapshot feature like you'd get from an emulator. But this is the next closest thing. This is the battle. Quote unquote battle.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go into just more of the early access content. So again, spoiler warning for those who don't really want to spoil this for yourself. It's up to you. But we're gonna show the beginning part here of early access. So you're walking through Anonymous Forest. You just got thrown into this crazy world that you have no idea where you are or what to do. You search around enough, you'll run into this guy, the Hermit, and he's a quirky fella.
The
Hermit.
What was funny was we tried to do like a hillbilly accent, but Bakistan played it and read it with a pirate accent.
Yeah,
and it worked.
It
I was
worked.
like, oh, maybe I made a pirate accent.
A piratey.
You fluppies are always flapping your yaps. You know, it's like, arr.
Well, Sonny, you're free to stop by my hut for some rest if you want.
I like my fruit spoiled. Been thrown in the world with no clue what to do. Exactly.
Yep.
Well, that's what we try. I especially like that where it kind of forces you to explore. Drass and I have gone back and forth a lot, actually. Like, no, I want something that shows me where to go, and I'm like, no, I want to explore.
It's good to have that dynamic, I think, as developers, because
try to find
it forces us to compromise a little bit, right here and there.
Yeah. Except for the one thing I'll never compromise on, is where you put the shop proprietors.
The shop proprietors.
One of their first biggest arguments was where the
where like because you wanted them like directly in front, and I had it off to the side because I was.
I was like, why is it off to the side? When you go to a shop, you want to go talk. To
I was just being stubborn and didn't want to change the map.
You were so mad. You're like, You're like, it's whatever. We're fine. And then you're like, why are we doing this? And it's like, come on, man. Finding a bit of middle ground
so
can be
funny.
a thing, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that probably happens in a lot of development teams. I would be surprised if it didn't, obviously. And I think that's part of growing your relationship with your fellow developers. And, this is the first time we've ever partnered up on or not first time we've ever partnered up on a game, but we've really tested our relationship in this way.
The first game we made was a game jam game.
Yeah. That was fun.
Out of Control.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about Unity, and I was like, I'll just do this so I can learn Unity. And it was a learning experience. And Walliver was there, and Drass was there.
You must be enjoying my ugly mug then. I thought that was funny. Nice one.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I like Control, yes.
Where am I?
Nightfall was there in spirits. Have you not seen Out of Control, Michael? I'll go get a link to it.
It's funny. It's
and actually,
it's a play on words.
So it was like out of control, and I can't remember what the prompt was. It was like something where you get different power-ups or something in the beginning.
Right. Power-ups.
It's .io. Itch.io. Isn't there Drassy Games? Okay, here it is. So this game,
Out of Control.
Out of Control. Drass did all the he did all the animations for the fox. It's a fox in the hen house, but the hens are like they've trapped the fox. It's like a
testing facility for like
foxes,
anti-fox like traps.
And it really came together. Actually, I was really impressed by how he did it. It's not really the greatest camera angle.
The hens have lasers. They're testing all their anti-fox machinery, on these foxes that they forced to do basically these runs through their facility.
I was right. Yes,
Probably
with mother hens, basically.
Hens. Yeah.
There's a theme tonight, apparently. And in fact, this is the first game we made, and it has multiple endings.
Oh, that's true.
Many possible endings. And the hardest ending, I think someone, did we have to tell them? I can't remember if someone got it without us telling them. I'm just a sucker for multiple endings.
Well, I mean, you've got that. It's replayability, which adds value to the experience. So and not everybody's going to do it, obviously, but.
Correct.
Oh, look, we got a issue there. I'm going to ignore it for now. Up in the corner.
Oh, you see the portal?
The meteor. No.
Oh, look at that. Why is meteor?
Yeah.
Meteor?
That's funny.
Meteor.
It's supposed to be hidden when it's not in use, but whatever.
I don't know, friend. Don't know.
It's hilarious. Meteor.
So in our Out of Control game, at the end you fall into like a jar, so you're captured. And I think it was you either get captured and that's it. You're like, good, now I'll use you. Or you can jump out of the jar.
Yes.
And then, like, if you run towards the chicken, you die. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something
like
that. Or
was it just 2 endings? I thought it was like 3 endings.
Yeah. If you run. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you could run away from the chicken though, and it would be like, get back here.
Yeah. And then now it's supposed to be like on to the sequel, right?
Right. We tried working on it for a little bit after that, but it was one of those projects that we didn't really.
You just couldn't.
Felt motivated. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really like.
We didn't come up with ideas or time to just do it.
Yeah, we're not really. I mean, we like platforming games, but we really connected better on the.
Yeah, absolutely. We both enjoy RPGs a lot more.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, Michael is making a little hint about multiple endings and stuff. Yeah, this game, Alterium Shift, will very likely have multiple endings.
Right.
I always thought the meteor on the cave background was lava. Oh no, it's not. It's the special ability for Dolian, which is just on the battle map. Wait, is that why Ugly Facington looks like it looks? Something went sour at the henhouse. That would be funny if we made a connection to Out of Control somehow.
That would be pretty funny.
Now we have to do something like that.
Guess so. Someone mentioned it, so got to do it.
Dun dun dun. Then you'd really have to know the lore of the game. You know, like you'd have to go back to the history of DrassRay games, which is 3 games. Multiverse of Hen, yeah. That'd be hentastic, don't you think?
So I guess I could touch on the story a little bit of what's happening here. You know, if you care to know, you're lost in this world, and you find, and the hermit comes across you because of the fluppies, right? And all you're trying to do is basically find your way back to your world. You know, the hermit gives you a little information on where you are. Where you're in the world of Eretla, which is the Dark Elves world. That's what we call it. It's basically Alteria backwards. So Eretla.
We're not very
Alteria.
creative.
Oh, no, I think that's super creative. I mean, it's a reverse world too. So yeah, we didn't cheap out on the naming at all.
Like RPG games, and you realize that they do a lot of that when it comes to naming things. They like it's not like it's not creative in that like they spent hours coming up with the best thing. They're like, hey, I need something. Why don't we just come up with this concept and just keep using it?
I mean, some games are like super lore heavy and do come up with like complicated names for everything, but I never remember the names of those things.
Yeah, well, we barely remember the names of some of the things we've defined.
That's true. There's a lot, and there's a lot to remember. But anyways, yeah. You're trying to find your way back home, and the hermit offers to help you, but on a condition that they need to go with you through the cave because they need something there.
Yes.
So, but also they genuinely want to help you, help you out.
Yeah, because they're a supporting character. Right?
Correct.
And there's more to that lore too in the game. I mean, the thing is, you have to consider, without spoiling too much, there's a reason for most characters you come in contact with. It's not just some random person that joined your team. They have a game where the hero's last name is just a town name and the region spelled backwards. I mean, they got to come up with names. Naming things is hard.
Naming things
Driven
is
Blade.
definitely hard. I mean, how many... We spent a lot of time just coming up with the name of Alterium Shift because we had so many different... We know we wanted to have the word alter in there, and we wanted to know, like, have something to do with the changing worlds and all that as part of the title, and it was just coming up with different names. And then we came up with kind of the lore behind it, and so we came up with Alterium was the minerals of the world or whatever.
Yep, the lore was built. I mean, the thing was the lore built organically, and it was very obvious when we found the right name.
Right.
Alterium actually came together much easier than some of the other things. Atlas, Pyre, and Sage, it was all like that, which is ironic because I wasn't playing a lot of video games in my adult life because I had a lot of work, and I didn't realize there was a Pyra that already existed. And there's an Atlas too. In fact, there's a game. Griffin isn't your game that has an Atlas? I can't remember. Someone has an Atlas character, which is not like, I guess it should be obvious. Atlas is a pretty common video game.
Yeah, Atlas is just a common name. I mean, it's a name from, what is it, Greek mythology?
Something like that. Griffin Blade says, if it makes you feel better, the Dragon Age setting is called Thedas, which is a cool name, except it's literally the Dragon Age setting.
the D8.
Michael, from my writer's room experience with naming for RPGs, you come up with 50 or so each time, and then the producer or manager picks the most face slap one. Yeah, that's
kind of what we did. Yeah, I mean, we did that with a lot of places, like just with the first names of places or characters, that kind of thing, and then we just kept narrowing it down to the ones we liked.
Alterium, could we petition for that to be the highest named element in the element table?
Let's go ahead and visit camp.
I mean, the thing is, what's so interesting about the way this developed, each step of our lore construction kind of fit well together like puzzle pieces.
Right.
And it all ties together. So we do think it's important. Even the antagonist isn't just some evil, bad person that, is trying to kill you or take stuff from you. There is story behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason.
And yeah, there's a reason for it all, which is, I think, super important. You need to have motivation. It can't just be evil for evil's sake. That's what we think. I guess you can. It just doesn't feel like it fits what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Getting into the hermit crab boss fight with the hermit. Always
Big
use protect.
crabby.
When I was adding skills to the characters, Atlas is kind of like our damage dealer, but they're also a buff/healer because their element is wind, and wind provides healing powers in our game. So it just felt natural to do that. And almost, if you've ever played Final Fantasy XIV, it reminds me of the archer class going up to bard in Final Fantasy XIV. So you can you take the bard class on, and then you can heal as a bard. So, or scholar, is it scholar? I can't remember now. Scholar's the summoner. It's been a while since I played that game. But I think the bard is another healing class in Final Fantasy XIV, if I remember correctly. All right, so the hermit actually has ability called what is it called again? Alchemic Bomb. Basically, it gives you a chance to topple large enemies. I'll be using this throughout the game. Basically, if you see an opening for a monster, like this is the crab is charging right now, and they have their arms up, so that would be an opening for you to topple the enemy. So they'll topple back. Keep in mind that all the animations and stuff right now are still work in progress, so if you see a little joltiness here and there, it's just because we're still working on smoothing out those animations. Early access. I mean, some things are going to be a little rough right now.
I'm not sure how much of the chat I want to read, but they'd be around element 137 before elements were so unstable. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, right? Because there is some component that might be interesting around that concept about the element heaviness. T said, yes, always use protect. Goes into the corner. I'll be back. Do the combo attack when you press Alt Shift.
Yep.
No.
So this is also the other the time that you get your first burst ability is in this battle. With all three characters will experience this battle, and this is where they unlock their burst ability, their first burst ability. Atlas's tornadic winds, which damages and slows all enemies. It does some pretty good damage against this monster, though its weakness is actually fire. So Alchemic Bomb, fire moves are like Pyra's move does like 400 damage to the crab. It's what did we call it? Dancing Flames. Dancing Flames.
Okay, I didn't get through all of it. So you need a combo attack. You hear Jessica's always use protection, and FF names their world Gaia and Terra. Yeah, that's usually common.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest town ever, Nilbog. Troll 2. I think I saw that movie actually. Most RPG team pretty much purged from a variety of history and mythos. Yeah, I mean, I have a story about that.
Crab. Oh, yeah.
Spyra.
Oh, I forgot I added that. The crab actually does protect on itself when its health is low, so it does. You do less damage to it.
Griffin Blade needs to get going. Grab the copy of EA when I wake up. Thank you, Griffin Blade.
Thank you so much.
Night. Sleep well.
Definitely appreciate your support. Take care.
Thanks
Sleep well.
I had a story about this. What was the monster that you made? Was it a cockatrice?
Yeah.
And I was
you
like,
have a story. Is it this another one where you're gonna make fun of me?
That's the only stories I have.
Oh, okay. I'll just play the game.
Because Michael talked about ethos, and you're like, you made this character, this monster, and I said, does it have petrify? And you're like, no. I was like, why wouldn't you have petrify or like death, whatever? Because you made it was a basilisk or a cockatrice.
Cockatrice. Yeah.
Like, that's what they do. And you're like, it doesn't have to be that way. It's like, yes, it does. If you give somebody a character that's in the mythos, you have to give it the same attack abilities, because that's what people do. You can't make a cockatrice without, petrify or whatever.
Right.
One of our like stupid arguments.
I mean, it happens. It's funny. It's funny to look back on because we're just like, which hill are we gonna die on, man? I'm just kidding. No, it was funny.
Sometimes it's the stupidest ones usually.
Yeah.
Release should be in an hour. Yes, a release is happening in 1 hour and 10 minutes, and in about 10 or 15 minutes, we will do another drawing on the giveaway.
Yep.
So if you are just popping in here, I'm not doing a good job of keeping track of how many people are here. So you may all be the same people. But in case there's somebody new here, there is a giveaway we're doing for Steam Keys. We'll do another giveaway at around 12 Central, 12:05 Central, or so. We're kind of bad at keeping tabs on that. And a final one when we do the launch. The next one we'll do just, one key out, but the final one we'll do 2 keys.
Yep.
And EB flat already won. Give.
Ooh, I can get some.
Giveaway. See, I hate the word. Give away. There we go.
Give away.
Giveaway.
Click that link. Join the giveaway. And put yourself at a chance to get stuff. It's just a crate. A barrel. A large rock.
That sounds great, man.
Oh yeah, I added some stuff here to the well. It's a well. There's probably water in it. Even dark elves get thirsty. Very well. Here's something for you. And you get
well. Please tell me you have a well in there.
What are you still doing here? That was it.
Oh man.
You got to have those multiple interactions. You warmed me up to it. At first, it was a little much, in my opinion, but
Oh gosh, it was so like, people aren't gonna like that. I think Drass, the people who won't like it aren't gonna talk to things.
It's true. It's true.
The people who are gonna like it are gonna talk to the thing. And then we watched people play a demo, and it was like, see. And then he went like whole hog on it. He's like, oh, okay, well then I'm just gonna.
Well, when you gave me the power of nodes, it became very easy, and then I was like, oh, this is easy. I can do this too. The power of nodes.
If you're ever, Michael gets to check everything.
Yeah, Michael, your job is to check every interaction multiple times.
The worst job in the world.
For the rest of your life. No, I'm just kidding. For the rest of the time we're in development of this game.
If you're ever curious about the development, I do stream. Normally I stream on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I've been missing a lot of Tuesdays lately. And I do show some of the stuff I'm working on. And people, if you're ever curious, if you haven't stopped by my stream, you'd be able to see a little bit about how the underbelly works.
Right. So just to give you a little update on what's happening in the game right now. So the first town that you come across in the Dark Elf world it's called Notimus. So the whole region is called Notimus, but the town is Anonymous Town. And this is your first interaction with elves, which might go not as expected. You were taught during the whole beginning of the game that these dark elves were, these evil creatures who are basically coming into your world, and you had a war with them, right? And you drove them back to their world. And so this is kind of your first hint that not everything is as it might seem at first. So
for some people, you might be like, well, yeah, it's obvious. I mean, one person early on was like, oh, I bet if it's this, and they start like, postulating about what the storyline is. I'm like, oh my gosh, stop talking, please.
Stop talking.
Because they're like basically calling out what the game is about. Well, if it means this, then it must mean you're gonna have something like this. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I didn't think it was obvious. but the Dark Elf, you can even tell in the lore in Summiton, it doesn't even say that there's a world for them. It just says they got decimated.
Right, right.
It just says like they
Drove
came
them
from
back
the
to the
forest.
forests. Yeah.
Right. And clearly they're not decimated. There's a whole town right there. So
Right.
there's a lot of things that maybe aren't necessarily 100% accurate. To the victor go the spoils.
Right, right.
Victors. are the
Spoiler
ones that
warning
make-
again, but we have that there for a reason. I said spoiler warning, obviously. We have that there for a reason. But so this is after you get through Nautimus. Obviously, the hermit kind of explains to you that he knows of another portal that was near Nautimus, and so that's your whole goal of coming here, is to find another portal back to Alteria. And so this is the first portal that takes you back to Alteria. When you interact with it, it takes you back there. We got to fix that bug because it's supposed to...
Oh, it's like light and day. I thought we
Yeah.
did that already.
Yeah, no, we didn't fix that issue.
We'll go back through it.
You go back through it, and it's supposed to, zoom in like that and then kind of zoom out like that, right? It gets shrinks because you're going back through to the other side. That's what it's supposed to look like.
It was very... So we have a contractor from his own company called Hundun Games, and he really helped get the shader components together. And we
Right.
were very explicit. If the bubble opens up to shift, then it's got to close to go the other way.
Mhm.
So even though the world is also shifting around how we wanted, it was very much like a specific animation. And I think there's still some tweaking we want to do, but it is fundamentally what we kind of envisioned, right?
Right.
When Drass was first showing me, and this is kind of an example of kind of what he was showing, because it was a scene with the outdoor stuff. I was like, it's 3D, but it looks 2D, but it's 3D.
Yeah.
So you could like turn the whole world around. And that's, the origin of the shift, essentially.
Right.
Which we used to call it flip, but shift.
Yeah.
because it's a
Shift made more sense.
Yeah, way more sense. So you're shifting the world around. In fact, when we first saw, was it Super Derek? He's like, whoa, it's like the world is shifting around. And we're like, yeah.
Yeah. You got it. You got it. Yeah, so basically, you get back into Alteria and the first thing you'll notice is your path that would normally lead back to town is blocked, so you can't go that way. So you're forced to come to the bridge here where you discover there's an ambush waiting for you. And it's some goofy bandits. Well, they finally
You gotta
showed
work
up.
on like when your characters get into sequences like that.
Yeah.
The hermit just like disappeared.
Yeah, I know. They're supposed to... Well, the thing is we don't have control of the follower itself. So
we will. That's
yeah.
on my list.
Yeah, so that's something we can improve these sequences. Right.
Someday maybe.
So you gotta battle bandits on a bridge. Is it even a JRPG if you don't bandit battle?
The fun fact is like you made that Flame of Hope game and you have a bridge.
Yeah.
A similar sequence. Of
A similar sequence. You don't get knocked... Oh, sorry. I'm spoiling the whole thing
here. Yeah. Watch. Look at these bandits. They're so bandity.
Bandity. Yeah. Yay for Protect doing its job. Triple arrow.
Oh, I'm watching. It's like it's lagged for me. So I'm like, what do you mean Protect doing this job? You haven't even started fighting.
I sure did.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me do that thing.
What are you doing? Oh, you got something ready to show? Whee! More spikes.
I'm not even sure if this works, so we'll find out.
Guess we will. I think I need to make volley stronger. I feel like volley isn't worth the additional... Oh no, it's the same cost as focus shot. It just damages all energy. I think it should do more damage though. Not as much damage as a single focus shot per enemy, but maybe somewhere in between. And that's the commercial. It's commercial time.
I don't know what he's... Is there a commercial?
I don't know.
Did a commercial pop up?
Maybe. Do we have ads on our channel?
I don't think so. But Twitch might force it.
Yeah, they might. Let's do tornadic winds. Let's wipe out these
Okay. Here, you ready?
bandits. You didn't get any? Okay. Oh, look at... Mottzy has Alterium Shift running on the Switch.
Wait. Should I continue? I guess I could just go to the beginning. This is the... Yeah, okay. Because I haven't set it up for the Switch controls.
The Switch controls, yeah.
Yeah. The new game. Oh, this is like a demo build. Let me just get it.
Yeah, Pyra's Fury Strikes definitely feels a lot stronger, which is, you know, I feel like that's the point of an AoE. It needs to cost more, but it also needs to be deal more damage. What? Oh, you got... All I see is a reflection.
Oh, really? Oh, come on. How do I do
Yeah.
this?
Oh, and your green screen is taking out half of the green color.
Well, okay. What do you want from me? Okay.
Go inside the building. Go inside the building.
It's playing on Switch. That's what I'm saying. Okay. People asked earlier, and it turns out I hadn't used the Switch for a while because I was, you know,
Your green screen
on
is
early
ruining it. All right, so the bandit leader shows up, and he's like, "You guys can't take down this scrawny brat and this weird old man."
Okay.
And he catches the potion and throws it back at you, which is pretty funny.
Is it
There we
working
go,
out?
inside the dojo. Look
In
at that.
the dojo.
Other analog.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to playing things backwards, reverse, and upside down, sideways. So
59
yeah,
minutes and counting.
for those
All right.
who wondered, like, does the game work on Switch? There you go.
It does.
I can't do any more of this right now because like.
But the support of the early access definitely helps us reach our goals with getting the Switch porting done, and obviously localization, all that good stuff. Like any way that you can support us through early access, that helps us reach those goals. And we came up with those rewards that we showed earlier as more incentive, not as stuff that we would like to add on top of that, which would enable that with your support.
Yes. We, of course, honestly, we still want to do as much as we can possible there, but
Yeah, absolutely.
getting that support early really helps cement a lot of the things we'd like to get accomplished.
Absolutely.
And you just saw the Switch build. We once we get through this early access phase, the initial launch, I'll be revising that, and we'll have more information down the road on how that's going, so people can know how's the Switch build doing. It's doing pretty good. I mean, I think there's a couple bugs in there, but I think those bugs were actually legitimate bugs in the build at the time.
Mhm.
So near as I can tell, it seems to be working fine. It's a little bit performance challenged in a couple places, but
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's about time to do the giveaway.
I'm guessing I don't
Koshmallow,
have
do we?
win. You're still part of the giveaway.
Yeah.
So as long as you entered, you're in there, and Koshmallow, you're in there. We're at the 12:02 mark, so that's a good reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just do the giveaway
Yeah.
now?
Let's go ahead and do it.
Well, and just for S's and G's, I'm gonna post the giveaway link one more time. If you all are just joining, you're taking a look, go drop on this form and put your preferred platform and username to contact. When I push the giveaway button, it'll pick a random person, and you'll win a key to Alterium Shift. Right now, we've got a few people on there. If I see the numbers shoot up, if a bunch of people join, I saw on Steam,
Steam.
the user numbers shot up a little bit. So if you're just joining on Steam, take a look at that link. That link is where you can go if you want to earn a free key to Alterium Shift, which will be launching in less than an hour now. We are literally
We're down to the wire. Down to the wire.
Well, something
Close.
like that.
Something like that.
So I'm going to give it. I'll give it just 3 minutes to let anybody who just popped in.
Yep.
Go over there, submit your name, and we're still going to do one more giveaway at launch time. I'm gonna say that if we hit 20 people in
Mhm.
terms of people signing up for the giveaway, we'll probably give away like 3 keys.
Yeah.
But otherwise we'll give 2 away then too. So we got, a few more keys to give out. And we hope that if you get the key, you'll get a chance to play it. You'll tell us what you think.
Yep.
Less than an hour, Cheeky. Yes, what I'm more hyped about is that you are forcing yourself to stay awake, which is, I would not require that of you. I
Yeah,
know lack of
absolutely.
sleep, but my gosh, I cannot believe how amazing that is. See me go to sleep in 5 minutes before lunch. I know you're like, I gotta stay awake. Like, I was in the Marine Corps in the U.S., the United States Marine Corps, and no, I'm not like a crazy jarhead or something. Although I was, I guess, whatever. But I remember having to stand fire watch and like middle of the night for an hour trying to stay awake. It was the worst experience in the world. Trying to force yourself to stay awake when you are like dead tired. I will stay here till 2 a.m. if I must. I am not missing this. Thank you for the hype.
Support.
All right. We got 1 more minute before I run this raffle. I see a couple people pop in there. Take a look. Just joining. There's a giveaway happening in just a minute or so.
Hello, welcome.
Does this mean our crayons hidden somewhere in the game? Maybe. Should we hide some crayons somewhere?
Crayons?
Why would there be crayons? Did I miss them? Oh, because of the jarhead thing.
I get it.
Yes,
now.
we're gonna make it a meal because we eat crayons in the Marine Corps.
I can't believe I had not shown fishing up to this point yet. Guys, there's fishing.
Something fishy about that.
There's fishing in Alterium Shift. I'm sure a lot of you already know this if you played the demo. But if you haven't played the game or haven't seen it and you're new here, we have fishing. It's a JRPG. You got to have fishing. I keep hitting my microphone. I'm very sorry. Yeah, we got fishing. Okay. And one of our goals is to definitely expand the fishing minigame to make it a little bit more interesting, which we put that as one of our goals for early access sales. So if we get up to, what was it, 7.5? Yeah, we will have the means to continue to work on that a little bit more. As is, it's not a bad mini game, but it could be more interesting. Fishing is the best.
Yeah, we'll continue to expand it. One way or another, we're going to expand it a little bit, but getting that 7.5K makes it even more of a focus.
It justifies us spending the extra time on it, for sure.
All right. It looks like we're ready to do our giveaway. Boom shakalaka. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Lucky number 7. Hey, guess who won? Tosh Malo. You stayed and you won.
I'm sorry, I said Tosh. Kosh Malo.
Congratulations.
Super. Congrats.
I believe you're on Twitch, so I'm going to go get your key ready, and I will whisper sweet nothings into your ear. Or maybe into your...
Why do you got to make that sound so weird?
I
Fury
don't
strikes.
You've known me for more than 3 years, and you still wonder why I have to make things sound weird?
I don't know. I'm just a weirdo.
How is this not even, like, how is this a thing that you don't understand?
How is this a thing?
How do you not understand?
I know.
By this point in our, working together.
I'm learning, okay? It just takes a little longer.
My camera's still working. Because it's like hidden behind layers of screens.
Yep.
It's still working.
Yes. Super congrats. Really would love to know what you think of the game. For anybody who purchased the game, again, for early access to be super successful for us, it's not just about the sales. It's also about leaving reviews. Because, again, Steam favors games with lots of reviews. I mentioned that earlier. So if you do happen to purchase the game, please leave a review. It definitely will help us reach more goals, get more visibility, which is important for a successful early access campaign, because the more visibility you have, the better, right? So we'll do our best to keep visibility up, but our community is super important in helping us achieve that as well.
Hey, Kasha, Malo, I can't whisper you. Can you whisper me?
Just say something in the chat. Me. Mottzy says me.
Can you whisper sweet nothings into my ear?
Yeah, y'all can trade your sweet nothings.
I asked that of Drass a lot. He usually says no. So
Ah!
usually
It's a hawk.
says no.
I'm getting hot. I'm getting attacked by these hawks, man.
There you are. I believe I can. Well, there you go.
Protect.
There is your key, Kosh. Enjoy in the 50 minutes. We should have had like a timer for the countdown to launch.
Yeah, we should have come up. We should have come up with a timer. Look at us being so prepared for this stream. I think with Pyra, if I do an AoE, I might be able to kill all of them. Let's see what happens.
AoE. One of the questions we get is, well, when I do AoE, it just happens
close.
immediately.
Yes.
We will be making little pointer fingers.
Yeah. Well, and another thing.
Stuff,
another thing we thought about with AoE attacks is maybe regional AoE attacks, but we haven't really worked on battle positioning and stuff like that, which, you know, if that comes up a lot, maybe, possibly, just a little more strategy.
Yeah, like the dream would be the Chrono Trigger style battle where it literally fights on the map.
Correct.
Although there are other games out there these days that are following that pattern, so maybe it does make a difference.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's okay that we're using sort of an amalgamation of running into monsters on map and then doing like the side view Final Fantasy style.
Right.
Uh-oh.
What's up? I think this time I'm gonna go up to Gilberry.
I thought
What?
Oof. My light this this is hot.
Are you having a problem over there?
One of my lights went out.
Oh.
I guess it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I can still see you just fine. You're still a little bit darker than normal.
I burned my hand on this thing.
Oh.
Wow, that's probably
okay?
a fire hazard. Maybe I should be careful about that.
I know I played Chrono Trigger. For the life of me, you can't remember the battle style. So yeah, the battles take place on the same map that you're running on, and they just kind of like jump into place, and your characters kind of just start in their battle position. Some attacks are like regional based, so like if you did a certain attack in a certain area, it would only hit those monsters over there. So it's like an interesting like strategy. I think it worked that way. Maybe I'm wrong. No, yeah, it did. Because like if you did the spinning attack, it only spun in that area, but you could hit multiple enemies.
Right. See, real time. They did have a real time battle system, although you could turn it off. And
Right.
I didn't like real time very much.
Yeah,
so.
I liked being able to stop and make my choice. The
Did
weight.
Don't you guys find it curious that you fight right to left rather than left to right? No, because what isn't Octopath that does that?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy does that. In fact, usually when you're on the left side, it's like you got ambushed or something.
Right. Yeah, some Final Fantasy VI, I think you could have monsters on either side of you or something. One of them you could. I can't remember the exact one, to be honest. My brain is not working at 100% right now. Doop doop doo. But I am almost to the camping spot over here. Camping! Let's go camping. I mean, a lot of JRPGs are like that because Japanese is read from right to left. Oh. Interesting. I think it just became a trend then at that point for this type of game. I think a lot of indie game developers still choose this style as well.
I didn't even think about it. I thought that's just the way they do it.
I think a lot of people might go right to the cave. Do we want to detour? Yeah, I was going to go up to Gilberry, I think, and kind of show off the town up there if I have time.
Yeah, we're in the spoiler phase, right? We're
Yep.
showing a much more significant chunk of the game than we did the last time.
Right.
But But it's time. We're launching soon. YOLO.
YOLO. I mean, this stuff is going to be public anyways, so if you
Right.
don't want to watch it, I can totally understand.
One thing that we haven't talked about, actually, is the nature of how early access is going to work. So early access launch, at launch time, it's actually an older version that was approved for launch. We will be updating it immediately once it's launched with what we have in what we call our beta branch. But the beta branch will be accessible to everybody. And then if you look at the Steam forums, we provided that information on how to get access to the beta branch. Everybody will have access to beta. In perpetuity of early access. At some point, we'll probably stop updating the beta version because I think early access is targeted about 75% of the game. But we want to make sure that there's a space where if you really want to see what's up and coming and we're waiting for, you can see it, and you don't have to wait until we push next changes. What happened? Are you quitting?
I'll tell you about it later. There's a bug.
Oh. Well, then I'm talking. So while we're doing this, early access is already kind of like a beta version, but we're going to have a branch in which while we're testing new features or whatever, we'll still push it to the beta version for people who want to test it. That one will be less stable. We're not going to push everything to it all the time, but we will try to do it when we think it's ready. But there'll be bugs, right? There'll be more bugs there, and then we hope to update periodically the main early access branch.
I'm unable to move.
Still?
Yeah. So I think it may have been something where movement was disabled and not re-enabled, which is odd because it totally does that before.
And did you have any manual save that you did?
I have a bunch of manual saves. That is a new one. Yeah, there's always going to be something new, I guess. Did you
tell me something new?
You didn't work on the Barren Valley stuff, did you?
No, I've been working on the Hermit stuff.
Okay.
I've never thought of it all, but a few years back, I realized that fighting left to right in Darkest Dungeon and Super Auto Patch was more intuitive to me. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Because I grew up on Final Fantasy stuff, and that was always right to left. So never even occurred to me. I guess Final Fantasy VI did have some battles where you were fighting left to right, like the train battle.
Yeah, there were, but not all battles were that way.
Where you suplex the train.
Yes. What's the countdown at? We are. Wow, we're less than 45 minutes away. 43.
Report a bug in the pause menu. Yeah, we probably want to put something in the game for reporting. It's the hard part about that is then we got to talk about communicating external to the game.
Right.
Where we could just give a link and say go here.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it could be. It's just go here to report a bug.
Let's go
just
here.
Open up a browser.
Okay. So the next area up from the Barren Valley is anonymous. Northern Plains. So
Kosh, you can access it once it's launched. So in T-minus 42 minutes, when we launch and push the build, you'd be able to add the game to your library. And it's just you go to, I think if there's an add a game button at the bottom left of your Steam, that's where you would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why did my chat disappear? My Steam chat just went away.
Oh, that's interesting.
You have
just
an install button when it launches this key, and it's like any other game then. Yeah. But again, in our forums, what we'll say is if you all are staying up to play it right when it's launched and you want the latest and greatest, then you have to go in, right click on it, go to your properties, go to files or installs or what is
betas? Are you talking about
betas? Yeah, you go to betas and then you would select the beta branch. There's only one branch in there that's beta. And then you would get the absolute latest and greatest.
Here we go. This is Gilberry Port.
You fight boars in this? Varys isn't going to be happy. Though I'm not sure he would love... Oh, though I'm sure you'd love these maps. Who's Varys? Do you know Varys?
No.
Jess?
I don't know who Varys is. Virus? Varys. I don't know.
One of the things we're not doing, but I know that people like to do is like pacifist runs. We don't have that here. We did just go with the classic RPG. Although you can pet the kitty. That's true.
You can pet the kitty.
Yeah. Although it looked like you kind of were going to pick the kitty up or something.
Yeah,
Maybe you need to make active animations.
Yeah. We'll do that. I'll pick it up, and then you can carry it around just like the chickens. No, just kidding.
The cats don't like to be picked up normally,
No,
though, right?
no.
Scratch your-
You walk like a couple steps, and then they'll just like scratch your face.
Yeah. That would be funny. Like,
Would be
does
hilarious.
the woman want the cats back, or does she just want you to feed them or something?
No, she wants them back. She wants you to go get them and have them follow you in different ways.
You can pet the doggo. Wait, is there a doggo here?
Not here, but
Hey,
hey! Want to play hide and seek with us, huh? Yeah, absolutely. We have to play hide and seek. Hey, King, hide and seek time. The rules are hiding in town only, and no going inside houses. Count to 30, and then come find us. I'm not going to count to 30. I'm just going to come find you.
you know what would be funny though?
What?
This is the problem. I'm always coming up with ideas. If you stood still for 30 seconds,
Uh-huh.
maybe we'd make like a special something.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to spoil finding all the kids. I want people to find them. I'll find a couple. I know where a couple are. But you guys should
Leave them.
play them. Yeah, you should play the game and find the kids.
So, Drass, what happens if you don't find them all and you leave town on your adventure and come back like days later?
I think they just reset. I don't remember.
If you leave town and come back, do they reset?
It's. I think if you go inside and come back out, they like you go to any other map. It's like you
That's good.
you've basically
It would be-
given up.
It'd be hilarious if you, they stay hiding forever. You come back and there's a skeleton on the ground. Because
Oh no, never mind. They're still hiding. Okay, they just hide forever. Forever hidden.
I think maybe they should reset or something.
Maybe. We'll think about
I'm
it.
gonna go put a ticket in that for that.
What about the cats, though? Oh, dearie
What?
me, my cats have gone astray. Will you
Chickens
help me
reset.
find my kitties? Yes. Oh, you kind soul, thank you. The first and easiest cat is Pernard. Just call him by name, and he'll he'll just follow you about anywhere. Oh yeah, Pernard. So you have to call him by name. I'll do the first one because I've shown this one before. Pernard.
You were particularly happy with that name. You're very
Yes.
proud
Pernard.
of yourself.
Pernard just follows you around everywhere. You just take Pernard with you. Just leave town. Oh wait, you have to
Cheeky,
be close though.
the-
You can't get too far away.
Cheeky, the chickens flying off the cliff actually came about. How did it happen? It happened after PAX. So when we went to PAX West, there were some concerns about how you catch the chickens
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't clear, or like you could just corner them, but then you still couldn't pick them up. And Drass is like, well, we should just make it if you corner a chicken, you can still pick it up. And I started thinking like, yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Chicken's not just gonna stand there while it's flapping away. So like you gotta make it so the chicken can like move over things. And the process of that, a chicken went off the cliff. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And like we could put a chicken back on top of a light post or something.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? That's a feature now. Because you chase the chicken off the cliff. Of course the chicken's not gonna want to be picked up. You gotta walk. That's what you gotta do to catch them.
Right.
Unless you're fast enough, then you might get lucky and catch it. Not
Yep.
right now because chickens are too fast. But... Are you still able to kick them? You can't kick the chickens.
No.
Imagine Pernard could claw at the monsters that you cut down. You're just really into people are into like the pet effects. Oh yeah, we talked about while we haven't talked about the number of copies sold, one of our tiers above 10K includes a pet. And we were even thinking of having like the pet be in battle and either provide a buff or something like that. So, you know, the problem with this model, of course, is that it requires a bunch of people buying the game, and you know, you might really want it, but maybe not everybody does. So whatever. But you know, we're hoping just to sort of encourage that hype around it. We would love to make a pet mechanic for sure.
You're not a happy woman when you see your chicken nuggies go off a cliff.
They come back though. They come back.
Well, the fact that you're calling them chicken nuggies infers that you might eat them.
Cheeky's starting to sound a little bit like the chicken lady now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so it's really funny coming up with the chicken behavior. It's one of those cases where you start to work on something and you realize, oh, this kind of makes sense, and you just go with it. It was like a bug, and then we just turned it into a feature.
Right.
Feature bug, baby.
Now I'm just doing side quests because it's fun.
My life will only be complete when I can adopt IRL Pernard.
IRL Pernard.
Are we going to end up having to have plushies for each type of pet? That means you're going to have to make the unique graphics for them, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. You got to do kitty.
We got to have a very successful early access launch.
Yeah. So for every town that has an animal, you're going to have, for all the animals, when you deliver them or whatever you do with them, you're going to have a little graphic for them.
I mean, that's feasible.
You have a merch store, but it's not working for some reason. Like the merch link isn't working. I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah, it's the Streamlabs merch store, so
Yeah, it doesn't work.
I think we might have a link on Twitch.
There it is. Oh, there it is, right there.
Oh, it worked. Weird.
We don't have plushies in there.
No, no
Really
plushies
not
yet.
working on the YouTube one.
I just caught some bandits stealing some stuff from the port. I gotta go report back.
Report.
No, avoid that battle. For now. Oh.
Oh, can you use the boat?
There's like a slight pause when transferring these maps. Now I'm stuck again. What is
You
happening?
can't move?
Yeah, that's a problem.
What? We
Um,
didn't change anything there. I'll put a note. That was going back into Gilberry, or is that a
it was
different
going
spot?
back and forth.
Oh, don't do that.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know if that's...
You don't lock them during movement.
Yeah.
All right.
What are your plans career-wise if Alterium Shift sells as planned? Do you have visions of tackling other genres, styles of games, or to continue making content for Alterium Shift? Well, yes, the first obvious thing would be to finish the game, right? Career-wise, after Alterium Shift, it would really depend on how well it does. We might continue working on Alterium Shift to add some DLC, especially if we hit some really high goals of cells. But, you know, we might even look at other projects. But I think we're both decided that the JRPG genre is kind of what our niche is, right? At least for now. We may look into some action style RPGs.
I think that,
But
at least conceptually, it's more of like the SNES genre made modern.
yeah, right. Style wise.
Right. So, you know, looking at things like an ARPG, for instance, wouldn't be off the table.
Right.
Like a Zelda style.
Zelda style.
Using more unique visuals. One of the things that we've seen in the modern era is people take what was out back in the 90s, and they like upgrade it, but they still try to keep the pixel feel. So there's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't appeal to us as much. Like Octopath has the style. It's a beautiful game, but it's like flat 2D characters. It's very obvious. It's like a flat 2D plane. And we like this more seamless depth feel where it's, yeah, we are using pixel flat art, but we try to integrate it somewhat seamlessly. Well, Drass does this because he's the magical artist person, but integrate it seamlessly with the world. Use 3D, but use it to augment the 2D-ish feel, as opposed to, you know, leverage a bunch of high quality 3D stuff and then plop a 2D graphic in there. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that we don't. We prefer a style that makes you feel more of that nostalgic.
Right,
feeling.
right.
See, retro FPS, a DLC with a certain favorite chicken. Yes. Actually, scrap it being DLC. Make it a talent and make it your own game, a cozy, relaxing one. How about a chicken that chases a fox? Hey, we got one already. DLC.
Yeah, crazy.
Out of control. Yeah, so like career-wise, if this is successful, which we hope it will be, right? I mean, I'm a CTO at a digital marketing company. That's what I do for a living. And I've had a career in doing technology in various like healthcare and general consulting in a bunch of places. Never been my dream. I would love to just make games for a living. I would love this to be the daily job. Coming up with creative ways to do UI and experiences and trying to integrate them together, harkening back to the things that I liked from the past and bringing it into the future. But as we were pointing out about the visual style, we like the style of the mixed 3D, 2D, but truly make it feel kind of like it was back in the day. Like I've heard someone refer to another game where they said it's like what we imagined the game was, but the game in question, like really high quality graphics. Nothing wrong with high quality graphics, but that's not how I thought those games were. I remember looking close to the TV screen trying to understand how the pixels work, because I didn't understand, like, wow, how'd they make it look so cool? Because I'd have a computer and I'd be trying to do pixel art. And so I like the feel of the pixel art style genre that I would have experienced, as opposed to like the really high quality, 64 by whatever character art.
Right.
But I mean, I don't think there's any genre in that era that's off the table per se, but I do know that the story-driven narratives are what we tend to gravitate towards.
Right.
I wouldn't mind doing a platformer. I like platformer games, and doing some unique spin on that. But I don't think that's in the cards. So it'll be more like JRPG, ARPG,
right,
or variants of that in the near term. I don't know if we'd ever have a really big team either. I think we get a lot of value out of a smaller group.
Right.
But who knows? I mean, I could be wrong. Someday I'll be like, oh yeah, we got a huge team. I don't know. I mean, we get a lot more done if we had a bigger team. But it's just cost more.
Right. So this is the first place you end up when you go to the desert. The first thing you'll notice is there's like this heat meter, and you can pass out from heat exhaustion. So you have to get these prickly pears if you want to get rid of that, but you can unlock the shobi, which is something we've showed before, is the chocobo-like mount. We call them shobis. They're actually inspired by the shoe bill and a combination of some of our favorite mounts from other games. But yeah, we like our cute little birdie mount.
CRPG.
Yeah,
Computer RPG? Oh, I mean like classic computer games? Unfortunately, I didn't really play those games when I was a kid. They're not really my genre. I like the sort of the cutesy anime-y Final Fantasy mana type style. I played some. I played like Baldur's Gate, I think. I thought that was okay. We are 26 minutes away from lunch.
Woo!
Almost there.
Almost there.
The problem is I had this vision that we're going to do the launch and then we'll just go crash and go to sleep. But I don't know if I can. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't think my
Will I
body
sleep
will
tonight?
let me.
I don't know.
It's a well. Oh, I need to come up with some clever stuff on this well.
I don't know how developers feel about launching. I can't imagine that many of them are like, yeah, we're just going to launch. It's going to be great. Everything's going to be magical. I mean, we're human. We're nervous. We're worried. We want success.
It be
You know,
coffee
we-
is shifting.
We're not just developing a game. We're also doing all the things around it. Like, Drass spends a lot of time on the social media stuff, and we're thinking about creative ways to kind of encourage the hype.
Yep.
Because we want people to share the journey with us. We're not trying to plop a game in people's lap and say, now enjoy what we created. Well, we'd
Right.
like you to enjoy it, but we want engagement from it. And there's nothing more fun than watching someone sit there and talk to the same thing 5 times and see how they react. Oh God, I'm nowhere near launch, but the thought gives me anxiety. Well,
Oh.
FAP, what are you working on? That's an interesting, also acronym, by the way. Daniel, I should say.
Daniel.
It's debatable. Blinking counts as milliseconds of sleep. Yeah, it's like blink really fast. This is Morse code for send help. It is. It's a thing. We put a lot into this, and every year, the ramp up of our time has been more and more. The first year, it has to be like, Mottzy, are you gonna do anything yet? Getting the demo out, like, Mottzy, come on. And I was like, okay, I'll do something. I hated working in Smile Game Builder. And the second year, we're like, wow, people are liking this. We should really invest more. So invest more and more of my time. And then, of course, once we got a Gravity game Arise or Gravity Indie Games, it was like, I was going to say something, but pedal to the metal, that's a good one.
Right.
It was just like, the ramp up was insane.
Yep.
I think one of the first things I did over the summer last year, my family went out of town on vacation for a week, and I worked I stayed here and I worked. My wife was kind enough to take the kids, and then I went to visit them afterwards. But I just worked straight on. It was insane, and it's just been nonstop since. Probably something most closely compared to Slay the Spire. Oh, that's cool. Some big differences, like jumping out the plane without the parachute. Yeah, right, Michael. Well, yes. I mean, I have a job full time. If you choose to be a game developer and keep your full-time job, then you just have to give up everything else in your life. Outside of the time I spend with my family, I don't completely ignore them, except for this week.
Right.
Like I have dinner and I wash dishes and I put the kids to bed, and my eldest daughter now wants to watch movies at night because she stays up later. So I do all that stuff, but then I just stay up really late. And then I tell myself I won't go to bed too late, and then 2 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, oh, crud, time for bed.
Yep.
So it is a bit of a haul. And I hope it shows in the game. I know the game has some polish issues that we still need to work on.
Right.
But we put a lot of our sweat equity into this game. And,
Sweat
Drass is paying himself for the work. From the little bit of funding we were able to get, but how many hours you say you put in? 80-hour weeks?
Yeah, I mean,
When
sometimes.
do you stop working, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say most weeks it's 60 to 80 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Which is the same for me, but I'm doing the full-time job on the side of that too. So
yep.
it's a lot. So yeah, I mean, it'd be great to do this full-time, man. Don't worry, guys. You can definitely tell that there was a lot of love and care put into Alterium Shift. Well,
Thanks,
you,
Daniel.
as always. Those.
That means a lot.
We hope so. It's very interesting. So I've actually had this weird epiphany because back in the day, I'm thinking like, 13 years ago, 10 years ago, 10 years ago, yeah. In the era of Facebook, I got into this kick of like arguing with people. Or maybe it was like 6 years ago or something, whatever. And it was exhausting. And like hearing criticism and then being like, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't worth it.
Right.
And then, I let all that go. And then since we've been launching the game and I've been seeing people comment in the board, some people are not, up front, it's almost like they're ready to be upset with me or Drass, even though they don't know who we are. They're like, why haven't you done this? Or why haven't you done that? And I would say like the past me would have gotten really riled up about this. And the current me's like, hey, you know what? That person took time, their own personal time, to go into the board and tell me what they think. And to me, there's a very interesting value you get out of that. And if you look past the way the words are written and what person's communicating, there is valuable feedback. And so like the switch for us has been, yes, I don't always feel good about some of the feedback I hear, but we are very careful to make sure we're appreciative and we express appreciation.
Absolutely.
Because, oh my gosh, yeah, your words might be rough, but you're telling me something that's valuable. And that's been a huge switch, a mental switch for me, And I think, I don't know how Drash feels about it, but for me especially, like, I don't need to argue or yell. Like, you are spending your time to tell us what you think. And a lot of people write, paragraphs and paragraphs, pages of content that we can read and learn from.
20 minutes.
Always, okay. Show them what happens when you overheat. I already did that earlier.
Oh, I'll do it again. That's fine.
It's only 10:30 on the West Coast and 11:30. So not that late. Yeah, it's 12:40 in Central Time and later Bradley limits. Pre-triggered, dang. That's after you visit the taco hut. What's later? Well, again, not knowing a whole ton about. So Cheeky just stayed up all night. Not knowing a lot about game dev, I can tell you that I've had this impression. First off, people put their hearts into something and you hear a message that says your game sucks. To them, it's like your game sucks. I don't want to play your game. I'm going to uninstall it, right? Like someone took their time to tell you they're going to uninstall your game. That can be really hard. It's like I'm putting all my heart and soul into this and you're telling me because I didn't meet some of your requirements that I suck, my game sucks, I shouldn't be releasing it, right? And I can see why developers would just like blow that off. They'd just be like, whatever, or they'll argue back. So probably there's a sense that you're going to give feedback because you want to, because you care. The person who's saying the things that aren't nice, or like aren't like nicely polished, and then they're waiting for that person to argue back. They're waiting for the developer to say you suck and you should, go away or something. But I've noticed every time we just respond nicely that we don't continue to get that language, right? It's like once you get past the hump, people are okay, right? You realize we're not trying to pull one over on you or convince you to buy a game just for the sake that we can make money.
Right.
We
generally care about making the game better and improving it, and I think once people realize that, they see a little bit more value in the project and what we're trying to do,
Cheeky, come to think of it, I haven't been excited for an RPG in a very long time. Super picky on them, but this demo was just
so nice.
Hard. Thank you. That means a ton. It's hard not to get partially emotional to hear things like that because we don't know. We've made the game ourselves. We play it. We don't know what people are going to perceive. And even when we get positive feedback, that doesn't necessarily translate into sales in the next step of things, right? A lot of people say, oh, I like your demo. It's got a good concept, but, it needs some maturing, or, I'll wait till it comes out, for the full release, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you're like, but, you missed all these great things in there. And the funny part is, like, some of the people, this isn't criticism. It's just like some people who are just get through the game and they play like an hour and a half. They miss like 3/4 of the content. There's so much content. I mean, there's I just did an export of the Act 1 content for the first phase of like some localization stuff, and it's 25,000 words in Act 1. It does include some of like the items and skills and things like that. 25,000 words of content in Act 1, and it's about the same for for the EA version. So you think about it, like all said and done, it's like 60,000 words in early access. It's
Right.
And Fandrax, which you guys probably know who Fandrax is, but Fandrax did a really good video we liked, and he just recently did another video and said it took him about 6 hours to get through early access, which plus the demo is about 7.5 hours for one character. So if you assume that every time you play another character, it'll be slightly faster, there's there's almost 20 hours of content in the early access version. As long as you're not just rushing through it, the 20 hours of content in early access. Some games launch that are RPGs that have 10 hours of content, the whole game. And we have 20 hours of content, assuming you play multiple characters. And that is unique content. Let's see. Let's go back here. My only worry with EA is the bit that some might play it, run into a bug, review negative, and never return. Some really don't understand how EA works, while here in Stream, it really shows how much you love you pour into it and make the game with players and improve. Yes. I know. You don't, it's like when you're driving and you don't look at the driver, you just assume the person's a bad person because they cut you off or something, right? Like it's just, you don't see the human.
Right.
You just see the thing. It's similar to hate comments on social media. They're just trying to get heard. Once they are in a positive way, they're disarmed, right? You can put an EA note telling them that, okay, I don't know how store page worked, but yeah, it would be nice if people who didn't get caught in news here would know too what your roadmap is. We did put it in Steam, at least a light version of the roadmap. I'm not really opposed to sharing roadmaps. It's just that it's a little, some of it's not interesting. It's just like the next section is content, right? And some of it's variable, right? Some of it's planned and stuff we may or may not do. Again, depending on number of sales, some of it will become part of the roadmap. So it just varies. Cheeky is a real risk, but one you have to take. Yeah, later on when people see how cool the final is, hope they come back. I really hope so too. I'll be rooting. Well, thank you very much, Cheeky. It is, we can't do this alone.
Right.
And I'm not even talking about like we can't do it without a publisher. We can't do it without the amazing composer and side developer support that we're getting. We obviously get help there, but like the community is what we are trying to invest ourselves in. If you read our early access language, we are trying to emphasize it as a partnership. We do want to work with people. We do want to we have so many great people that are giving us great feedback, finding bugs, telling us what the issues are. I'm a little nervous that we're going to not live up to expectations because we have a lot of things to fix every once in a while, but we're going to do our darndest to hit the high priority items and keep improving it. We're looking for more people to be part of that community. Stop in on our Discord. Stop in on Steam. Let us know what you think. Give us your thoughts. We're going to have the beta branch open. So it means that when we have upcoming stuff, we'll put it in there. So if you want to go and try the new stuff, we'll let people know and you'll be able to go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are completely open about that.
When
I have no problem coding on stream and showing you what I do.
Daniel
also
has a
because
question.
no one can steal that stuff because I barely know what happened with this. Side question: how has your family react? One, when you both decided to make a game, and two, now that you guys are so close to the release. Do you want to start, Drass?
I mean, my wife has been super supportive the whole time, which is super helpful when you're making a game that sometimes it may not seem like work when you're making a game, but it is a lot of work. So yeah, she's been super supportive. My kids love like seeing progress on the game. It's kind of funny, that they're actually into pixel art games, which is weird to me because if I were them growing up with all these pretty graphic games that are all over the place, these 3D games, that's probably might have been what I got into. But my kids are into Minecraft. They're into Terraria. They've played my games, so it's crazy. It's the family's been super supportive. The job that I came from was super supportive when I quit there. So it's been really good for me so far.
Yeah. My kids are getting into the age. So my middle child is 7 and my eldest is 10, and they have Switches now, which I didn't. Funny enough, I didn't even consider getting them until I was in game dev. And they are now getting into it. I have an SNES Classic with a bunch of games on it, and I couldn't get them engaged enough in that. But now they want to play the same game on their Switch. My son just tried Super Mario RPG on the SNES Classic, but he's like, "But I want it on my Switch." I was like, "You free? It's right here. Play the classic." He's so funny. So our kids are really supportive. My eldest, the whole reason I started game dev is like, I'm going to make her a game. Have not made her a game yet. And she said, "It's okay, Dad. You can make it for me after you make Alterium Shift."
That's so sweet.
Hey, from Australia, Joe. Hey, since you're here, just so you know, if you're interested in joining the giveaway to get a key, there you go. Sign up.
Joe RPG, you follow us on Twitter. I think I recognize your name.
Yeah, the name looks familiar. I've seen you before. So my family is very supportive. My wife is a music teacher and also a composer. She streams. She released an album last year. She's very much folk artist. So we share creative support. I supported her streaming. I set up her streaming stuff for her because she didn't even know what streaming was. And she really took off creatively in that area. And so likewise, she wants to support me in the same way. It is heckin' hard. I mean, like, we have to find time to be together, which we don't always get to right now because I've been working all the time on this. And with the early access ramp up, it's been even more so. Like, my kids and my wife went camping last weekend, and I didn't because I was working on early access. And this weekend, they're going camping again, and I didn't because I'm working on probably bug fixes. I will be fully transparent. I don't really like camping anyway, so it's kind of win-win for me. But there are opportunities I've kind of missed. But they're supportive, and as long as we see a light at the end of the tunnel, it's fine. But the great part is they will help me as a family. We're not really, against our individual endeavors. As long as I still keep my day job, my wife's fine with it. Because game dev does not make as much money as a CTO salary does. So, big dreams. I wish I could, because being a CTO of a marketing company isn't necessarily like the dream I had when I was a kid.
Right.
This is my dream, and I love doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, there's Joe. There's giveaway. Yeah, it's me. I love to hear your friends, fam, and ex work is so supportive. That's awesome. Did your wife help in any way on the soundtrack? She started in the early days. When she was still doing her early composing, she did. The problem was she got really into her stuff. So it's hard to get her time. And she doesn't get RPGs or the game or whatever. Drass has a music background. So he'd make a theme and then my wife would riff off of it or adjust it or whatever. But she doesn't know video games. She doesn't play video games. So it was hard to make that stick, which is okay because we ended up with a really amazing composer. Who is named...
So all the music that you hear in early access now is by a composer. His name is Jonathan Shaw. He did all of the music, which he just posted the link there. Yeah, he did a phenomenal job with the music. He is obviously into this kind of music. It definitely shows because he pulls a lot of inspirations from other RPGs. He's been working on this kind of stuff. We found a music pack by him. That's how we actually got to know him. His music was a music pack that we bought that he did, and we really liked it. And we're like, what if we just reach out to this guy and try to get him? And after a while, we were able to. So.
We are, by the way, time check. T-minus 6.
Oh, 6 minutes now.
Well, on my watch it says 12:54.
Yeah, 12:54 for me as well.
I'm sure there's gonna be a lag between whatever they do on their end to push the button.
Yes.
And then they're gonna immediately start working on getting the next thing out.
Well,
Thank you for the follow. Where did the follow come from?
cue the drums.
Dan Van Dam. That's a funny name. As a reminder, hello there. As a reminder, we are doing a giveaway, and for this giveaway, we will be giving away 2 copies of the game, which is about to launch in 6 minutes. Check out the giveaway link. Go put in your platform and username.
Yep.
We will do the drawing for 2 people right after the launch happens.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and get the store page up without me logged in because I can't see it launch probably otherwise.
Yep, we're getting there. We're almost there. I did say, so if you guys are popping in here, we have, we're not quite at 20 people submitted there, but if we get 20, we'll drop another one in there. Michael sent me. Dan Van Dam. That's a funny name.
Oh, that's funny. I see our broadcast.
Hello. Was that
on our Steam page? It is showing on the main Steam page, on the store page.
the broadcast?
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone have any questions for us in addition to what we've already talked about? There's still more content after this too, by the way. I mean, if you think about the amount of content here, it's a lot, and we're going to continue to refine it as we go. I mean, there's going to be, if we consider EA about 50% of the content, then think that there's going to be at least double that for the full game. And that, then you also have the going back as the other characters.
Right.
This is not a drill. Thanks. I submitted. I didn't realize I could view this live on Steam or YouTube too. I don't use Twitch much. Yeah, we don't use YouTube much or Steam much. We normally do Twitch, but we should just multi-stream it. So that's
right.
what we're doing.
Yeah. So we just put it on all the platforms, and we kind of added the YouTube last minute because we have never streamed with our YouTube channel before, so we had to enable streaming, which we thought wasn't going to be enabled in time, and then it ended up being just in time that we could stream to YouTube.
Also, the cheeky says, "This is not a drill. 5 more minutes. It's 4 more minutes now. This is going to be the longest 5 minutes ever."
3
Sure?
minutes.
Yeah. So close. Great idea. I'm curious while we wait for this 2-minute thing. Should we stream more, Drass? Should we do this more? Just do a multi-stream across different.
I mean, it could be beneficial. I think, it'd be nice to update people on the progress we're making, or just hang out and chat. I mean,
To ask people what they think.
yeah, absolutely. Get some live feedback. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Show people what we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
We might consider that. I don't know what that would look like, but it would mean I'd probably have to not stream as much individually.
Questions? Yeah. Do you have any questions? Any
Fans
more
can
questions?
ask as many questions. Yeah. Very loved chicken. Yes, Ugly Facington. The randomly named chicken I did while I was throwing together a story. Drass, yeah. What's your music background?
Huh?
What's your music
What's
background? Drass?
my music background? I went to a community college. One of their programs at the community college was music. They called it the commercial music program. So it was really more like performance style music. Funny enough, I majored in vocal. Yeah, that was my major. It was vocal, but I also did a sub major for guitar. So playing guitar and singing, right? Which I don't do a whole lot of anymore. But it gave me enough insight to learn how to make music on a computer. And that's how I learned how to make music for video games. I did it as a hobby for a long time. Some people commissioned me to do some work. I've released a few music packs on stuff for various platforms like itch. So yeah, I mean, that's my music background.
You're talking, how long is he going to talk? We got 1 more minute
Oh,
left.
we got 1 minute. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, what are you going to put up there on the screen there?
I was gonna do my screen share. Here we go. I thought I had it. Why is my screen share not
1
working?
minute. I don't know. We don't have like the countdown. We'll just pretend like 5, 4, 3.
There we go.
Um,
So here we are. This is the page. So once it goes live, it should show up here, the price and everything. So Michael's got to tell us, when they click the button.
the price doesn't already show up. What is that little thing right there?
It would be under where it says add to wish list. Here, I'll zoom in. There, where it says add to wish list. That should go away. Coming soon should go away, and it should be, should show the price and everything.
Well, and keep in mind, we've got 2 keys we're going to give away.
All right,
So,
so it's 1
if you haven't
o'clock.
signed up
Let's
yet-
refresh.
This is going to be really refreshing.
Honey's trying to give me a deal. Hey, look at that. Buy Alterium Shift. $15.99. It's 20% off. What, for the first week, Michael, right? So for the first
Okay,
week.
we're getting in on this team. Oh, okay. Now I just got nervous.
Yeah.
Why is it that I didn't get nervous until just now?
Well, it's because it's real. It just happened.
Okay,
With a
we have
click of a button, our game is available for purchase.
till the 13th. It'll
Till
be
the 13th.
$15.99.
Yes.
The early access price is $19.99.
Right.
This is the time to get the game, friends.
Absolutely.
And we will before we go into do the Mottzy thingy, let's talk about what our goals are. Okay, we are trying to get in the next 30 days 5,000 copies sold. 5,000 copies is a magic number. We've talked with our publisher, Gravity Game, who's been really supportive. Gravity Game Arise, to really show viability in a game like this, we got to get sales. Right, that's why we're doing early access. Is to help justify additional funding and other things we want to do. 5,000 is a good number. It shows really good growth in a 30-day time period. Tell your friends, tell your relatives if you think they're going to like the game. Now's the time to buy it, though.
Yeah.
$15.99 is probably going to be one of the lowest prices that it's going to have almost
For a
ever.
while. Yeah, for a
Until
while.
like 5 years from now. Okay, so,
Yeah.
So check it out. If you don't want to play it till it's done, you can still get it now and then play it later.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that people might be worried about when you talk about indie games and early access is, well, what if it gets abandoned? Well, we are indie game developers, but we have a publisher, Gravity Game Arise, which is a
Can I get my
Subs-
copy signed? Sorry.
sub company, whatever you call it, of Gravity Gravity overall, Gravity Ragnarok people. I don't know what you call it, GV. This is a big set of companies. So it's not like we lack for support, right? So if you're worried about, the game's just going to become abandonware, we're not like just doing it on our own. We're not
Right.
self-publishing. We have support.
Right.
So
No matter what,
this
we're
is
going to
the-
finish the game. That is
Yes,
our goal.
a game group company. Okay, that's what you call it. Can I get my copies signed? Well, if we are able to get our, exceed our sales goals, there are some, things up there in the numbers for things like physical copies.
Right.
And honestly, if demand is high enough, signed physical copies is not off the table. I didn't
Right.
commit to that. Michael might tell you, "Shut
Well,
up, something."
it would be one of those things. We would probably go to a show and sign some copies or something like that while we're there, or something like that. But or even find a way to distribute signed copies. For
Yes.
for
We will. I mean, look, if this becomes successful enough that it can become our jobs,
Yeah.
the people that have been here from the beginning, the people that have supported us, people who want to also spend a little extra money for things like signed copies, we will put that effort in. If this gets to become our careers, this is things we love to do.
yeah.
And I will
absolutely.
tell you, out of my 20 years ish of work, 18 years of working in technology, this is the first time I've been interested in things around beyond just developing code.
Right.
This is where I really want to be. I love this stuff. This is really fun for me. I know Drass wants to do it too because he's doing
Yeah.
it full time.
Yeah.
So let's
yeah.
talk
I
about
have
the
a taste.
sales
I now have to do it.
Yeah.
The taste was enough for me to decide. Yeah, this is for me. So.
Right. So let's talk real quick. Sales goals. We said 5K was the magic number. The two before that, pretty simple.
Yep.
Once we get beyond that, 7.5K, we're talking about expanding the overall OST, which is coming. I think we originally targeted 45 minutes ish, but we want to get up to like 55, 60 minutes.
At least an hour. Yeah.
If we get to 10K, the fishing minigame is going to expand, and you'll be able to choose your own, or you're going to be able to choose up different profile pictures for your characters.
Yeah.
If we get beyond that, 15K plus, there are other good things. We've already talked about one of them, having your own pet. We talked about physical copies. There's some other ideas we have. We're going to be monitoring the situation. Sounds like a crime scene or something.
Operators are standing by.
Operators standing by. If we're doing that well, we will share with everybody else some of our ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are treating this kind of like a Kickstarter in that we want to give people immediate value. But you spend money, you get the game.
Yeah.
In its current state, you get to be involved in the game from the beginning. We're partnering with you guys as a community. Even if you don't want to buy the game and you want to play the demo, we'll take your feedback. Absolutely. The demo is 5 hours of content as it is, probably, if you play all 3 characters. So that's what we're looking for. We want to work with people. We hope that you guys enjoy this game. The farther we get along our path here, the more we can do. So we're really excited about it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Asked about CRT. Yep, CRT. Can I get my copy, group copy? No, not freeware for sure. We can do that. Woo! How soon? You see the sales? I have no idea. I don't know. What is Michael saying to us?
Oh, I was asking questions.
So now so just so you guys know, as a reminder, the early access that's now available, the version that is with the launch is slightly outdated but stable, and the team at Gravity right this moment is working to get the newest versions deployed to that branch. But you will have access if you want immediately to get access to the newest. Just go to your properties, go to the beta section, and just choose the beta branch, and you'll get the latest and greatest. I can see this game doing well. Well, we hope so, Joe. We really do. It works on Steam Deck, works on all the PC platforms.
Joe played. Joe was the one that was playing it on the ROG Ally. He was the one that.
The ROG Ally, right? Yeah. I saw. That's what I remembered. Controller support is pretty broad. Have we updated that on the store page, by the way?
I don't know. I don't think so. We need
Michael, can you expand the controller support, please, on the store page?
Yeah. Just change it to full controller support.
Yeah, because it's using the Unity input system, so it should be good. So, with all that said, thank you everybody for your support. Thanks for being here. Thank you for hanging out, cheeky. Now it's your daytime. If there's anyone who just happened to pop in, check out our giveaway. We're just about to give away 2 copies of the game for free.
Yep. Join up now.
Yep.
Now
just go to that forum. Tell us where we can reach you. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Whoever said it was lying. I'll go to the Steam one and also post it again. Check it out. Oh wait, you're welcome. So I'm going to give a 1-minute warning. 1 minute, and we're going to pull the first of 2. So get your name in there if you haven't already, and we will
break out the good luck charms. Yeah, exactly.
Break out the good luck charms. The press release is going out. Yay!
Woohoo!
Awesome.
Yeah,
10K copies. 30 days. That
this
would
is
be cool.
It's weird because I feel like relieved, but then now I'm like kind of like nervous.
Relieved but stressed.
Yes. Like, how's this?
I have no idea about when we see sales or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think it's probably, if Steam is consistent about this, I think it's like every day.
Every day, maybe? Question mark. Michael would know more about that.
Yeah, we'd have no idea.
This is our first time selling a game on Steam, so
yes,
it's crazy. It's crazy to think that where we started and where we are now, right? 2.5 years ago, we started making this game, just as a little proof of concept. Just 2 guys making a game that we were both like just drooling over, the graphics and the ideas of what it could be. It's so crazy. Wish lists are delay. Sales are usually real time. Wow, that's impressive.
Well, that'd be nice to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Right, here we go. I'm gonna select somebody. Boom. Row 10. Who's on row 10? Solenoid. Are you here, Solenoid? Solenoid on Steam.
Solenoid. Congratulations. Please speak up. Let us know that you're still here so that we can give you the key. And Mottzy can message you.
Yes.
As he's been saying, whisper sweet nothings. What?
Yeah, whispers. I will leave that open for about 5 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. If anyone just joined just now, if you just popped into Steam or otherwise, keep in mind we have a giveaway happening right now. You get a free copy of the game. Take a look. If you want to join, just click on that survey link and put your name on the list. Solenoid, if you're around, you have a 5-minute hold on your version that you'll win. Just send us a note. Just speak up in chat on Steam or otherwise. Let us know that you're there.
Yep.
Otherwise, we'll just recycle it.
Yep.
Okay. So while we wait to hear from Solenoid, let's do the next one. In 5. Oh, I got a text message. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, the number was 2. Hey, is No Tango here? No, wait, not No Tango. Sorry. Hey, is Mizo here? Sorry, No Tango. You actually were number 3, but Vimizo is number 2. And I think you're here. So, oh, me. Yes, you. You were the first person to sign up, actually. Congratulations, you. And you get a key, and you get a key.
How many are we doing? One more after this?
We didn't quite make it to the 20.
We didn't make it to the 20.
If Solenoid chimes in,
right,
I will give them the key. If they don't, then I'll recycle that key and I'll pull one.
So Solenoid, you have 4 minutes left.
Yes. If you are watching on Steam, because it looked like the Steam numbers jumped up a little bit.
Yep.
Take a look in the chat of Steam. There is a link that you can get to get a free copy. Vimizo, do you have a restriction on your Twitch connections? Because I've been trying to, like, when I try and Twitch people, I can't whisper sweet nothings into their ears.
Yep.
I don't even know where is my Twitch? There it is. Okay. Okay. So let me go find Vimizo in here. VMEEZO. That's an interesting icon you have there. VME. Great. All right, let me get you the key. So congratulations. There is 2 minutes. There are 2 minutes. Are 2 more minutes. Solenoid, if you are there, please chime in. Let me know. Happy to give you the key. But we did specify that you got to be here to win it. So Mizo. There you go. Back over there. And bada bing, bada boom. Go enjoy your copy of Alterium Shift. 13 of my stream friends have AS wishlisted. I'm planning to gracefully stock them over the next few days.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
Chief.
so nice.
You don't have to stock. Don't get known for stalking people. It's okay.
That's...
But yeah, totally stock people.
Yes.
Go stalk all your friends immediately.
Stock as in fill their stockings? Question mark.
Fill their stock. The video game.
Can't wait.
We have 1 more minute, and then I will pull again, unless Solenoid shows up. Solenoid, if you're there, we're ready to go. If you're not there, well, I'm sorry. Who says I aren't already? Yeah, that's fair. It's finished downloading. Woo!
I don't know if the new one is pushed yet, so make sure you
He
check
said
the beta
that
again.
the patch should have gone up, but yeah, the version should be, I think, 1.1.12.
Hey, a game on my wish list has released on Steam Early Access.
Nice.
What is this game? Oh, it looks really cool. It says Alterium Shift. It's even coming at a discount. 20% off on launch day. $15.99. Regular price $19.99. Oh my gosh, now is the time.
That's hilarious. You are funny, dude.
I don't know. This is fun for me. I like doing this stuff. Oh, you did a post?
I did. I did it right
This is
now.
it.
Alterium Shift
I
is
mean,
now
I
available.
know it's early access and it's just 50% of the game, but man, it has felt like a long haul to get to this point.
And we have a lot more to do, but honestly, I feel really proud of how far we've gotten, and I know that with the help of a supportive community through early access, we will make this game an amazing success. I just know it's going to happen, just because if it wasn't for the people who supported us until now, even, we wouldn't be where we are. So it's just goes to show you how important the community is to us, and how important this launch has been to us, and to continue this relationship and continue to build the game with your support, with your help, because without you, this game hasn't been what it is. You know, it's the way it is because of all the feedback we received, and we hope, you know, to continue to provide a game that people enjoy and will, love for years to come.
Now you're starting to sound like a
sappy person.
Telethon. No, a telethon person. Like,
oh, I'm a telethon person. I don't know.
Your support.
Okay.
All right, Dan Van Dam, thank you for hanging out. I know you're dropping off the bed, but thank you for being here. Thanks, guys.
My dress is making us tear up. I was being genuine. So thank you, Michael. Thank you.
I'm glad I finished working in the time before the end to watch the stream. We'll watch it back from the beginning. Oh, sweet. Well, yeah, there's
Awesome.
lots of good information. Mizo, have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us this whole time.
Congratulations on winning a copy. That's awesome.
Because I did not hear from Solenoid, near as I can tell, I am going to go and redraw. So
yes, redraw. So if you're still here and you haven't joined the giveaway, this is your last chance, I think.
Last chance, babe. Oops,
join the giveaway. Make sure you post the link.
Okay, dang it.
Do it now. Anyways.
Earlier you were hyper in a different way, and it was a little off-putting, your stress level.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Now what? Am I still being off-putting?
Okay, you guys got 1 second if you want to hop in there to get it, if you haven't signed up for it yet. Otherwise, I'm going to pull it. Have to do so much effort to not boot up yet to go hug ugly people. Really should get in sleep first. Yeah, I mean, breakfast and then sleep would be a good idea.
Which order, though?
I don't know. It's just
breakfast, then sleep. I've done that before. Woken up hungry.
Another chance.
Fell back asleep.
I'm going to push the button. 5, 4, 3, 2. Row 8. Who's on row 8? Is there a Raikuno here?
Raikuno.
Raikouno. Is there Raikuno in the house? This another Steam person, so maybe they dropped off. I'm going to shorten the time frame on this. I'm going to I'll give you a minute, because by this point, if you weren't kind of listening in and knowing that Solenoid did not get theirs,
right,
I'm not going to delay it too long.
Right. We'll give you a couple minutes.
Food first. Food always first.
Food
Sleeping
always
on the grumbling stomach, no. Yes, except unless you have GERD, and then you can't really eat before you go to sleep because it's bad for your tum tum. I don't know if that's ever stopped certain people that I know though. Okay, Raikuno, if you are here, speak up. Otherwise, I'm going to redraw.
We're waiting. This music, by the way, oh my gosh, when we first heard this boss battle music, oh, I had chills, dude.
Here we go.
So
it is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw. The number is 11. Video Wizard, are you still in the hizzy?
Vizzy Wizzy. That
How
does
about
sound weird.
the character theme? We can talk about that, yeah. Video Wizard, you still here? You were here, like, for a lot of the time. Video killed the wizard star.
Video Wizard. He's here.
You are here. All right. Well, congratulations. You get the final copy. The final free copy.
I almost got. You almost bought the game. Go ahead. And buy. I'm just kidding. Buy a copy for a friend.
Oh no.
Oh
Fail.
no. Fail. We came in just in time to give you a free copy. I'm totally happy that you want a copy, man. Congratulations.
Fine. Like one-off copies, it doesn't make a whole lot.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's that 5,000 that makes a whole lot of difference, right? The goal.
Now go into your, what is it? The telemarketer or televangelist role.
Yeah. So Alterium Shift. Our goal here is to sell 5,000 copies within the first 30 days. Now, what that does for us is gives us the means to, it's not that we would stop developing the game all of a sudden. It's giving us the means to continue further development in a broader scope, right? So we want to add things to the game with your support. We want to make sure that you get, hey, with our first 1,000 copies sold, you'll get a desktop background. And our eternal gratitude. With 2,500 copies sold, we'll do a short developer guide for you. Basically, we're making a guide as we go throughout the game. You'll get a look into that guide so that you can see, your way through the game if you'd like to have that. And also, on 5,000 copies sold, we're looking at CRT effects with options. So if you are like us and played retro games on a CRT TV, the CRT effect will hopefully emulate that for you to even make it feel that much more retro, which, we are retro driven, obviously retro inspired by Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, all those SNES goodies. And we'll also include an exclusive community background featuring new key art, because we are working on new key art for the game to just make it stand out a little bit more in the crowd, But yeah, our goals expand beyond that. 5,000 is our internal goal to feel good. It's our feel good goal, but we would feel even better if we got more. And so we are looking to expand the soundtrack of Alterium Shift. Right now we have allotted about 45 minutes of the soundtrack with our composer. We'd like to expand that to about 60 minutes or so. And with the help of more copies sold, we'd be able to get that going, expand the soundtrack, make it longer, include more awesome music like the music you're hearing right now in the background. 10,000 copies sold will expand the fishing mini game, which right now we have a lot of people who really enjoy the fishing mini game, but we would like to make it better. And with the help of your support, we could definitely expand that fishing mini game. I think it would just, make that more viable. And of course, we'll also add in-game character portraits that you can change based off the key arts that we release. So you'd be able to, change them to whichever character portrait you prefer. And then there's goals beyond that point. But once, if we get close to that 10,000 mark, we'll start opening up those other goals to let you know. But like we said, one of those is like pet companions, some of the, and other things beyond that. So yeah, there's my pitch. 50,000 copies. Yeah, let's do that.
Pitching,
that would
man.
be amazing.
Pitching, get it?
You're funny. Wow, guys. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us. Super fun to talk to y'all about the game. I loved all the questions. If you have any more questions, we plan to be here for about 7 more minutes. We said about 1:30 is when we would drop this.
Yeah. We targeted 1:30. I mean, we're happy to answer a few more questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what sleep is going to look like.
tonight. So who knows?
yeah.
We're gonna turn into Cheeky over there and just stay up until 7 a.m. or something.
Probably. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. That's my.
I know. I'm a little nervous about my ability to actually close my eyes. And
Well,
dream.
yeah, and you never know. You know, if we need to get out of any kind of quick patches, we can do that. You know, that kind of thing. So. Hopefully not.
You got your email, Joe? That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen now. It's we can't control it. I think that I will say
what happens now.
we can't control it. It's just we gotta let it go. You know.
The nerves are hitting, but it's not all bad nerves.
No, this is great. I'm excited. I don't know what happens.
You gotta sleep.
things
Sleep
happen.
is important. Yes.
Until
Buenas
I'm gonna.
noches. Are you going to bed? No Tango Stand. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you for all your feedback.
Yes.
No Tango, you are one of the reasons why we're doing this. In this world of game development, player feedback, at least for us, has been the number one helpful thing to continue going. So it's people like you that definitely help us the most in keeping going and having the motivation to make the game better and getting ideas and you know, I thank you. Yes, thank you for all of the feedback.
Absolutely. And I want to say so there's a lot of people who have supported the game, people we never even expected would do videos. While this person isn't here, I have to call this out, because if you guys ever wonder how we've developed this over time, one of the biggest reasons for the multi-character paths that branch off in different directions is a person named Mana on YouTube. I think literally they just go by Mana, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I think they're on Twitter too.
On Twitter too, but YouTube, they did a video where they played our demo, and our previous demo was like, you fought the battle with all three characters, and whoever fell in battle becomes the main character. And he played that, and he's like, what? Wait a minute. Does it change? No, it can't. And he's like totally wigging out about it. And he went back and tried another character and saw that you became a different one. He's like, wait, does that mean like everyone else goes in a different direction? And he's like wigging out. The first demo had one path, the same path, different dialogue. And because of that experience, and then when we got hooked up with Gravity Game Arise, we're like, we had this moment where like, man, we have to rework this entire section. We have to make it so each character has their own unique path. It was because of Mana's just complete like mind blown reaction to the setup and what he had detected that we're just like, we have to do it. So we gave Mana a copy of the game, and I'm really hoping that we get to see a video on that someday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's again like, I don't want to toot our horn, but it just goes to show how much we care about our game, but also care about what people honestly think about our game. Like, we want to know. We need to know, and for us to feel that validation on that level, you can't explain it, because when you see somebody play a game and they have all those questions and they're really getting into it, it's hard to explain how you feel in that moment, because you're like, oh, that's something I made from like that I love so dearly, and somebody gets it. Somebody understands what we were going for, and it's hard to explain that. But that's what we want to keep doing with this, with the live, with the early access. We just want to keep that communication, that transparency alive on the whole development of the project, because I think that's only done to serve us well, Yep. So we'll just keep it going.
All right. Do we have any other questions or comments? We are at about time, but we're willing to spend a little bit more time if you want to chat. If not, we'll... Again, I don't think we're sleeping. I don't know. I can't envision going to sleep right now.
Facing
I don't want to look at sales numbers, but I don't know what to do with my time.
Devs, how do you feel about our game? The whole fan base, Facington, Facington, but the game.
Ugly Facington. All right. Hey, look. You're not the only one, Chikichi. Yeah, definitely got some people out there that just love that character. We promise that you have not seen the end of Ugly Facington. You have not seen. We have ideas. We have ideas. We don't really want to go into it, but we do have ideas.
Joe, you remember the original demo? Yeah, that was old demo, and
yeah,
you know the characters had their own voices. You didn't choose what they said, and Sage was really a jerk. People did not like Sage. I read my Twitter. I'm super curious.
Yes.
What? What Twitter? What happened?
Oh, we responded to her, I believe. It's in. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm calling you her, but I'm not sure here, but
and we didn't ask pronouns.
Yep. But anyways, yeah, we replied on there. It's been a little while, so I may not remember what I said because I'm usually the one that replies on there. Excuse me. Sorry for that. It was great. It was great then, but can see the improvement. Well, thank you, Joe. And that's what we definitely hope for the long-time supporters. And we have a lot of them out there. Surprisingly enough, people have stuck around through all the dad jokes. It's, I mean, I can't believe it. Just, I guess I was wrong, Mottzy.
What?
About the dad jokes. I'm just being silly.
Oh, well, you know. Wait, who repelled on my cat then, since you both were busy here? Replied
on your cat.
Cat. You have a cat?
I'm so confused. Was it Gravity that responded to you? Because that would be Michael.
I don't know. I've been responding like on Discord to messages.
You should have made a bet about the dad jokes. Oh, see, I would have, you know.
No, I don't. Like, I wasn't confident enough in it, but I just think it's funny.
Right.
I don't want to, like, we started with this idea, like, oh, we have to be careful to make sure it fits within some. I was like,
well,
through the boxes.
You have this
RPG.
You have this good ideology of, like, you know, when we put something in, let's just try it with the people and see what they think. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. We can change it, right? So, that's served us well too. And I will give you props for experimenting and just doing stuff outside the box. Like,
are we in this phase now? We're gonna say nice things about each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying nice things about you.
I appreciate
love
it. No, I love you too, Drass.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, we've had great times at PAX. Just like, breeze.
We're really good.
Yeah,
friends.
like we have a
grown.
good dynamic. And here's the thing, like, it's not easy to get partnership in game dev. I hate marketing. I hate creating assets and like doing this stuff. It's just not my skill set. And Drass is like, I'll make that. I'll create a video. I'll do the post on Twitter. I'll create, oh, you want this graphic? Oh, here, I'll make that. And he'll make all the maps. He's like, here's a map. I'm like, great. I don't have to do any thinking there. You give me a map and I'll just try to make it fit together. It's been so amazing, this partnership that we've created. I don't have the creative spark in that area. I have a lot of different creativity, and he has so much like visual, artistic ability to like know what's going to make sense and visually work. He created the style.
Just stop it.
What's that?
Just stop it.
You're gushing our faces off.
Didn't you used to have a gush thing on your channel? Did we activate that on here?
The gushing thing? Yeah, friendship goals. And it was all remote, right? This is a COVID friendship.
Yeah, we just 2020 is when we started talking, man.
Yeah, I think what really, if you talk about the core, we each have skills in certain areas, but when it comes to creative thinking, there is a synergy that happens when we want to accomplish something. It's amazing because what I've multiple times in this project, we have reworked so many sections of the game because what happens is we go through thanks for the sub, by the way, Death Fail. what happens is we go through this whole process and we like, okay, this is here, but it's not working. And we'll come back, and as we're doing it, and we're like, I don't know what to do. And then it just starts fitting together and fitting together. We're like, done. That's it. That's exactly what has to happen. And there's a combination of like my strong personality of like, no, we absolutely cannot just take a shortcut here. We absolutely can't just like throw it together. And his kind of creative thinking of, well, then can we just do this? And there's times where like he gets really grumbly, and we'll be like, we got to, he'll like, and he'll come back with like a beautiful solution. Like I'll say, well, we should do this. He's like, no, we don't have time for that. And then an hour later, he's like, here it is. Here's the solution, and it's perfect. It's so amazing to watch that happen.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for the subscribe, DevFail. Thank you on YouTube.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we got a couple YouTube viewers.
Awesome. Yeah, we are our largest social platform right now is Twitter, but we also have Discord. Do we have Discord link?
I was hunting down. I got distracted. I'm going to just post the whole link tree.
Yeah, post the link
in
tree.
It's in our thing, our Twitch thing, but check out our link tree because that'll.
Oh look, Streamlabs posted our Discord. Earlier, it didn't do that. That's funny.
I added it later, whatever. I put it on there. I'll put it on the.
Whoa! It works. Amazing. It's like when we fix bugs in the game. Whoa.
Well, like I've enjoyed doing these streams enough that I really think we should consider now regular development streams. Or like dev, whatever we call
It'd
it.
be fun.
I think we should do more DrassRay streams. I was hesitant because I also stream under my own username, but I think it's fun. I like doing this stuff together.
Aw, I like hanging out with you too, buddy.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I changed my mind. Let's not do this.
Jeez, doesn't take much.
Anyway,
yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you all for sticking around. I think this is, unless you guys have any more questions, that escalated quickly.
That's how we roll.
Unless you guys have any more questions, we'll do a last call here. We're gonna call it a night because we just launched a game and
Did we?
I think we might be losing it right now. Just kidding. I might be. We're tired, but we're also super excited. And again, if you guys do end up picking up the game, again, share it with as many friends as possible. All right, because that'll help a lot. And also leave a review. Appreciate it.
Yes. Preferably a good review, but to be honest, if you really don't like the game, just tell us what you think.
Just tell us what you think. And hit us up in our community, the forums, or on Discord. If you find a game-breaking bug, if you find anything, we need to know. We need to know right now. I'm just kidding.
What I want to add is, by the way,
right.
The venues of getting our attention vary. We are also open to feedback on, if you go to our Discord, you're like, well, this doesn't make sense. Why don't you have this? Hit us up. We're always about improving what we have to make it more friendly and inviting. Our Discord is probably the least maintained, even though that's what we're always on. So we're always open to, tweaking and improving that. But whatever place you feel like going, come check us out, talk to us, tell us what you think. We're always open to chatting it up.
Yep. Well, and with that, I do not see any more questions.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Michael made a good point. If you don't want to pick up early access, drop a wish list. That still helps us out.
Wish lists still help us maintain viability on Steam as far as how it gets shared to people and suggested to people. So if you do not plan to pick up early access right now, yes, a wish list goes a long way to helping us maintain visibility on Steam. Alrighty. Well, I think with that, we're going to call it a night. And thank you guys for hanging out, guys and gals.
And people.
And people. Or, people in general.
Anywhere in between, non-binary or otherwise.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Y'all have a lovely day, night, whatever. Cheeky, please get some sleep.
Yeah,
We'll try to.
bed.
We'll make a sleep pact. If you get sleep, we'll try to get sleep.
I mean, if you have to go get Ugly Facington first before you can get a night's sleep, I understand. So, alrighty, you guys take care. It's been